Good evening. Can you guys hear me just fine? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Let me update this really quickly. Yes, Z is behind the tour. She is the supposed organizer of this entire thing. That went to dog shit, by the way. I mean, I say it went to dog shit. Like, not even able to speak to Charlie Kirk, not even able to get in line with Charlie Kirk, because it doesn't seem like they actually had any contracts or plans to do to, like, speak to him. Walking around for like an hour trying to find somewhere to like sit down, somewhere to like engage. It took them like almost 2 hours to find that, to go to that theater and start doing 1v1s with people. Yeah, I believe it was a flop as well. Like, if I were to rate the event, I know it's still going on and some people are still like hosting the live and everything. But if I were to rate it, I would say it was probably a solid 5 out of 10. I would say it's a solid 5 out of 10. That's it. 5 points are given just because I did appreciate the little 1v1 like that they were doing at the last few hours at least. Hey Cleo, we are just honestly, y'all, we're just yapping about this. If anybody that was there, or any, well, not like they're at the actual event, but anybody that just wants to yap about it, because I honestly think that a lot of things that were just done was ridiculous. How are you going to plan your entire event, this entire tour, over following Charlie Kirk, and you can't even speak to that man? That must have been that must have been devastating for them. He wasn't even willing to speak with them. Oh my gosh, Cleo, how far along are you? Exactly, Cam. That was what was really interesting. You made the tour to engage with Charlie Kirk, to follow Charlie Kirk, and he wasn't even willing to engage with even Dean and Parker. I also think that the school was a little bit is a cowardly, right? If they originally agreed and said that they're fine with this being set up, and then at the very last minute they were like, no, it's just going to be a school event and a school event only. That, I think, is a cop out. I'm not going to lie. I think that is a cop out still. But at the end of the day, that's why it's really important to try to not to make it seem like this entire event or tour is about what? Right. Following Charlie Kirk and trolling him and debating him. Because obviously they can't even do that. Obviously they can't even do that. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to let whoever's in the box up, but I need to change this. I need to change this thingy to set up because I don't like it. Um, can I move it? Okay, perfect. I can move it. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that, y'all. Oop. Okay, good enough. Charlie Quirk. Who is that? Who's that?
Hello,
Hey, how old are you?
I'm 29.
What did you want to say?
Wait, is this about, are you just looking for Trump supporters or we're just having a discussion?
Trout. Read the room, literally. Literally read the room. Read the room. Jesus Christ. Let me see. Y'all, I figured that the event might be wrapping up by now, so I was like, I'm gonna go live now. It's like 7. Uh, But honestly, y'all, I just think I am honestly, it's disappointing. It really is. It's disappointing because the way that they set this up, like this is very organized. There's so many people in the background working on this and getting everything set up, only for you guys to not be able to do the main thing that you guys went out there to do, which was obviously engage with Charlie Kirk and prove him wrong and show, like, give out misinformation or tell people that he's giving out misinformation and proving him wrong. You guys couldn't even do that. I have ideas of what they should do, honestly. Like, I think that what should happen is that if they're going to continue to do these tours, instead of making it about Charlie Kirk, I think they should change their entire thing. I think they should just make it about going to these events just by themselves, and debating people in college, debating college people in college. That's it. Like I would have like I said, the 1v1 that they set up like the last few hours, like the last 3 to 4 hours or whatever the case may be, I think is okay. I like that setup. I think that was decent. If they were to just go around and do that, I would be perfectly fine with that. But because they set it up in a way to where um they made it about Charlie Kirk, and that's what people were like hyped up about. It's kind of disappointing to realize that they weren't even able to engage with him, man. It's weird. Hey, King, what do you want to say?
Hello. I wasn't even disappointed because I feel like there's just a sense of entitlement to assume you're going to even have access to talk to him in the first
Mm,
place.
that is a good
And
point.
like you just assume just like, well, I'm being winners or you just assume you're going to get up there. I saw the crowds of people who were surrounding these people. There was
Hmm.
no
Hmm.
way you guys were going to get up there to talk to him and think just because you are who you are, you have your platform, that he was just going to pull you from the crowd and be like, yeah, I'll talk to you again. Mind you, these are for people who didn't already get to talk to him. Y'all have already talked to him before. He's not
Right.
going to be like, well, let's bring you up again. If he is, he's going to like actually set something up for you guys
Hmm.
to talk to him. And on top of that, all of your concerns about the black people being involved and there needing to be security, very much so valid. Because
Yeah.
the way that those groups were forming and everyone was just kind of like crowded up, there
Hmm.
really wasn't any type of format to like keep them protected
Hmm.
because there needs to be an extra layer. And you don't need to talk to Charlie Kirk. You need to talk to Charlie Kirk's supporters. Those are the people you need to talk to.
That's also a
Talk to
good
those
one.
people in the
Hmm.
line, which is what they started doing. Also, Dean is very flat. I, that's a very weird comment, but like I saw they did a pan and it was just straight paper. I was like, oh, goodness gracious.
Man,
Makes you
If
wonder
the
why
wind
all those
blows,
white women love sending him nudes. How y'all
they
doing
were
today?
chanting his name, and I was like, are y'all serious? They were like, we like you, D. I was like, oh, okay. That's what we're doing. That's what we do.
it's crazy work, y'all. I think that the entire thing could have been absolutely. It could have been better. 100%. Could have been better. I was
They
really
just
low key.
fun. They were just outside, out and about.
You got Santana out here feeling like me, just out there just sweating. Like it's
That man was sweating. Okay, he was sweating.
like I like Santana, but like I felt like him in the moment. Like y'all got me out here with these people to debate them, and I gotta be uncomfortable while doing it
Yeah,
because
why
I'm
they got
drenched
a
in
fucking
sweat.
tent? They have a whole tent out
No, they
there.
don't. No, they don't.
They
There
don't have a
wasn't a
tent?
tent. There wasn't a
Mm-mm.
tent. At least I didn't see
Unfortunately,
a tent.
yeah. Unfortunately, no, Chi. Supposedly yesterday, like the skull and everything was like, never mind. We're gonna give this to Charlie Kirk. So he pretty much stole their tent. So they were literally out there, out and about, scrambling, literally trying to find one another for like the first hour or two.
So
And they
again,
weren't even able to
unorganized.
debate Charlie Kirk. They weren't able to do that. So it was pretty much everybody doing their own live, their own thing until like the last 2 to 3 hours because they finally found a place to do their 1v1s with people.
Yeah,
So the tour is a bust because it was unorganized. They should have made
pretends
sure
to be
that the
shocked.
school gave them the tent. They did it too. You got two. Well, let's recap.
Not
The
even
leader
that.
didn't give a fuck about y'all. Now y'all out there sweaty and debating.
Not even that,
Z was
because
there. I
like
saw her multiple times in different like lives and videos. So I was like, I don't know what, like maybe she planned like the 1v1, which okay, whatever. But like, what happened to the rest?
you was the planner, Z. You failed. You had a job.
No, no, you know
You of
who
all
failed?
people
Those
could have been the
POCs
person to
in the back.
fundraise to at least get a tent. Y'all be getting half of that. Y'all could have bought a tent off of one of their lives. How
They
much they
should have
donate
bought
to
a
them
tent. With the money that they fundraised, they could have bought their own damn tent. Did they
instead of
use that?
lanyards? Y'all
No.
could have had a tent.
Lanyards is crazy.
Yeah, they had some lanyards. I'm like, lanyards, really?
Something, y'all.
But
It's
not a
crazy work.
tent.
Not a tent at all.
All
Not
that
a
money that
tent
was
in
donated, where
sight.
did that money go then?
Well, I think that they're still planning on having other events. To be fair, so maybe it's just other things that they're probably really going to put together, more equipment. Because I mean, they had their own mics and stuff. I noticed that they had their own like
So
They
they rather
did.
have
pliers
mics
and shit. So
instead of a tent where it's fucking
They
hot as
need a
fuck
tent
here in
with
Texas.
supplies and like
yeah,
things. They
maybe
need
this will be definitely a learning
water.
experience, other than expecting for the school to like give them a tent.
Don't
Yeah,
assume anything about that.
I
They
still
should have
feel like
never
it's a hot
assumed.
mess. All those
They should have never
POCs, they
assumed the
spent
school would have a
countless
problem.
hours scheduling and doing all the hard workers behind the scenes.
it's
Where the fuck are
supposed.
they at?
The
Now
hard work
that's
is it's
tea.
giving very much fashion show without fashions. Like
But
No, I
child,
want to know who are the POCs that worked countless hours for 4 days
bring them
to
to the
make
podium.
this come to life.
Where
Who
they
are
at?
they?
Who
They
what
need
are
to
their
be
names,
fired.
Z?
wait, that's actually more. 4 days, or it only took you guys. Supposedly, a lot of people knew this ahead of
I will
time,
give y'all a week,
but the
right?
yeah, the full thing, I just seemed like it was rushed. Like we didn't find out that this was going to happen until like literally a week ago, last Monday,
Probably
perhaps.
because they didn't find out until they were going to be a part of it a week ago.
The DEI hires didn't get put on until like Friday.
And then they didn't give the DEI hires
That's
the
crazy.
correct
Right.
information because as I'm watching all of these multiple POVs of the same situation, it very much gives like we all agreed to come here, but they all have different objectives.
Oh, absolutely, and absolutely, and like I said in my live the other day, a few days ago, I'm perfectly fine with that. I just wish that there was still some organization with the unifying of the tour itself, right? Like, y'all want to go out there, do y'all's own things, have y'all's own conversations. That's fine. That's great. That's dandy. But come on now, y'all could have had a better like setup. You know, y'all could have had a better group thinking or group
Again,
and everything, and they
they
didn't.
only planned to bully that man, and when the university picked that man's side, they couldn't do fuck all.
Which is why they shouldn't have relied on the university to provide them something in the first place. Why would you do that? You know he was asked to be
Because I'm
here,
a
they
possible
agreed.
leftist, and I'm possibly right all the time. He's a bigot. That's what they were all fucking
Yes,
relying on. They were
but they
relying on the fact
agreed
that
to
the
him
university would
formally.
pick their side, and it didn't work. Now y'all out there hot and debating people with y'all breath in y'all face. Again, where is the security? Because I didn't see any.
There weren't.
Security.
There was no the security was that squirrel who was telling him to get from away their tree because he was like, please stop. The squirrel was telling him to get up out their neighborhood. That squirrel was
The
not
scroll is
having
telling
it.
y'all don't go here.
He was very upset, dropping in on their debate, like, please get out of here. Please. He was attacking them people.
Y'all are funny as fuck for that, actually.
Well, it's true. That's
That's
where I said, get out of
embarrassing. That
here.
this whole entire tour, the questions that we asked, if they would have had an answer for it, I think it would alleviate all of that. But like I said, I'm still curious about the POCs that worked tirelessly for what 4 or 5 days,
Mhm.
and where are they at? Because we clearly need to go fire them because they're not doing their damn job. Y'all don't have a fucking tent. Y'all
Probably
are
did this.
hot as
She
hell out
probably
here.
told us that on purpose,
And
just so we would
then
blame them.
y'all have no security. I'm watching Mermaids live. These motherfuckers are in her fucking face.
In her whole face, yes.
They're
Anybody,
not together. It
anybody could
upset me
just
when I
pop
was
you and
watching
you
what's
just
his name's live and he was walking to the fucking theater. I was like, why are you walking to where y'all should be together?
Yeah, literally. No, that's what I was saying. Like everybody was scrambling to find each
Y'all got
other.
walkie
Like,
talkies
where's
or
Johnny?
something,
Where's
like
Mermaid? Where are they
something.
at? Go find them. Like, oh my gosh.
Okay, so not organized like we said, but all
Last
of
I
a
saw
sudden
Johnny, he
we're
was at a
harming
fountain.
POCs. It was very unsafe. Anybody could just walk up to what's it, Mermaid, pop her one good time and everybody
Right.
be scattering like roaches and no one would be none the wiser what the fuck happened because they don't have no
All there
fucking
is
security.
tons of cameras in her face, though. There'd at least be that.
At this
Because
point,
that
I
was one
volunteer to
thing
become the
with
organizer.
the.
Me too, bro. I
I
would like to be the
guarantee you, you'd
organizer.
probably do a better job.
You know,
Because
maybe we can also add to the POCs that work tirelessly
hot messes.
to make this possible.
I was talking to
You can
somebody
be the better
earlier about
POCs. Yeah,
like
yeah.
this entire thing, and I was telling them like what they should have done, and they're like, "Oh my god, wait, that's actually a good idea." And I was like, "Yeah, it's really not that hard." She's like, "Do you know how hard it is to get 50?" Then don't do that.
If you are
50 people to get
complaining
to
about
Texas.
having to do the things
Clearly,
that
it's
you
hard for
planned
y'all
on
to meet
doing,
up,
maybe you
and y'all
shouldn't
supposed
do
to have
it.
a meeting.
Her whole fucking motto is Z the organizer, or Z organizes events, but you get organized a
Are
fucking
the
event.
events in the room with us?
Can we change our name to Z's first organized event? Because that's what it's giving. And I'm still mad at the fact that
It's
all of them
giving you
just
light on
ignored
your
her
resume. Now you got
racism.
the job.
All of them just ignored her racism to catch a flight. Like, that's really what it came down
Yeah,
to.
I'm still disappointed by that too, honestly. They're like, it's still an opportunity and my chance. Okay.
But I'm so confused as to how there was, quote, this whole team of POC behind this. I've never seen a
I
black
haven't
person
seen
not
one.
organize
I would
something.
They
like
need
to
to come
know
to
the
the front.
name of the POC so I don't have them to organize my next event because clearly they don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't have the
Honestly,
connections,
like I
they
said,
think.
y'all, the only person that I consistently saw as the quote unquote organizer was Z. I didn't see anybody else that would have been a part of that. So I don't know what she
Well,
meant by
then they need
POC.
to be fired, and they
Wasn't
need to
that
find
girl
another
Peanut
person.
or whoever was up here the other day that was defending them and it was like, oh well, why would they give you the detailed list of the security plans? Who was that? Was she an organizer?
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I do know what you're talking about, but I don't think she was. I don't think she was, but she's, I guess, like cool with like Mermaid and them in Santana because I saw her in their live like on Sunday or something, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. But yeah, yep. The entire thing was shit. It really
Also,
was.
didn't
I
see any
mean,
flyers
if you
at all.
couldn't
Not
get
not one.
the tent, if you couldn't get the tent for sake to like in
That's
exchange
fucking
for
insane.
security, if you couldn't get the tent for exchange of security, maybe people be a little bit less
That's
mad
like
at
the
y'all.
first thing they should have got
But the
together. They
fact
got the
that y'all
merch, but
couldn't
you
get
don't have
That's
a
what
fucking
either,
I'm
tent.
saying. They had the
you
money
couldn't get
for it.
either. It's crazy.
You
You
saw
didn't
the
even have the money
flyers. What
for
were
a
the
tent.
flyers?
You had flyers but no
You
tent.
got a picture of
I
the
want to see
flyer?
it because I haven't seen one fucking thing from that
I would
man.
like to see the flyer. Who's
And that's
on
my
the
other thing
flyer?
too. I think that the goal still has not been established for each of these creators, which is really like confusing me.
It's like all of them are
Wait,
going
did you
for their
guys?
own agenda at this point, and it's like that's not what the
Yeah.
tour was about. Y'all can't harass Kirk because whatever it was his name, like,
Charlie Kirk?
whatever his name is. Y'all can't harass him because the university picked this side, so y'all can't go into any facilities that he's in. Like I said, y'all went there to harass this man, and,
And
and
y'all
Like,
couldn't
you
now
even
don't
harass
think
I'm
that
him.
sorry.
that
Of
school
course,
is
we
on
deserve an
this?
apology.
Like,
Of
you don't
course,
think
we
they on
deserve an
this app
apology.
watching y'all planning to publicly harass this man for his whole tour and think they're gonna be like, well, we're just gonna combat that? You don't think they're doing that? Like, you don't think they saw
This,
this?
like, I just
Y'all
don't like
talking
the
weeks and
energy
weeks on
that we
him?
got.
yeah, the energy that
And
we
not
got
to
was
be, and
very
I hate that to
disgusting,
be that
especially
person.
for
Like, the I
Black
told you
people.
so, da, 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 da. But like, look at this fucking event.
I
Look at
would
this
like
fucking
my
event.
apology written in white tears. If Z could cry and say that she's sorry, I will take that apology. Because the way we got bashed, especially by Mermaid, Hannah, and the Simply Black
Oh, did y'all
motherfucker.
already know?
Like,
What?
I would like my
What?
apology written
Yeah.
Did we
in
already know
No.
what?
How Charlie Kirk essentially said, "I don't want to speak to these people,"
Yes!
and the
Yeah.
school put them away.
That was the first thing we found out. I thought this
Bro,
whole tour was about
Hmm.
Charlie Kirk. You're telling me you couldn't even get that man to sign a
you
contract?
couldn't
This
even
was
get
not
that man to
planned.
talk to you?
I'm like,
This
you
was
Nah,
not
he
have
told
to
his
planned.
people, "I
admit,
don't want them here," and I don't want them here, and they moved their tent and actively kept them away from him. All of them.
I don't
Again,
care about
y'all
Mermaid.
went with the
Mermaid
intentions
sat there
of
and condoned a
harassing that
racist
man.
to save her ass. I don't care about Mermaid.
oh,
She sat there and
Yeah, I
defended a
don't give a fuck
racist
about Mermaid. She came
to
up here
save her
defending shit
ass.
when we was asking her about safety. She know fuck all about safety. I'm looking at her live. These motherfuckers are in her
Just
face.
walking around. Do we even have pepper spray? Like, what? Did y'all bring
Like,
personal
did she
protection?
even
Of
bring
course, she
pepper
was
spray?
uncomfortable because this tour wasn't about community. This tour was about messing with a
Harassment.
racist white man.
It was a
Mind
yeah.
you, I
harassment.
think I've only
She's a racist
seen.
white man.
Mind you, when Mermaid was going live on and off, I'm pretty sure I've only seen her. My goodness, I'm pretty sure I've only seen her talk to like two people, And the most recent one was directly about abortion.
And
Yeah.
didn't change your mind.
Yeah, it was
I'm
that
just
white. It was that white
confused.
teen
Because
man.
Dean is like, yeah, because the dude wasn't even listening to her, and Dean took over.
Here's my thing. Like, so
Mhm.
many creators on this app
Crazy
complain
work.
about, like, when we debate, yeah, it's cool to debate, but we recognize at the end of the day, they're still not going to change their mind. Like, they're still not engaging. They're still uneducated. A lot of conservatives refuse to change their opinions or even recognize how they contradict themselves. So she sat there and talked to somebody who looked like a white supremacist, and he left being a white supremacist. So I'm like, what is our end goal? Because we'd have to attack the communities and the ideologies, not the people.
It's
That
the
just
fact
doesn't
that
make
when
sense.
Dean was able to started talking, they were able to listen to him. They did not listen to Mermaid.
At all. Is Moon friendly? You didn't listen
I'm
to
not sure.
Mermaids?
Moonlit, hey, hello.
Hi, how are you? I was up the other day because I was talking to you guys just for a couple minutes about the tour. And thanks for having me up. I was wondering if I could just give my thoughts. I just joined, so I don't want to go over some of the things that you guys maybe have already gone over.
No, you're good. It's an open panel.
Okay, perfect. So I've been tuning in all day, and I was just really confused about the structure of this organization or this debate. And my thoughts are basically like, so they didn't end up debating Charlie Kirk, which was the whole thing. And I was just, because in the morning, Parker was doing, like, he was on some stage, and then he was doing like one-on-one debates. And then a couple hours later, I saw Dean in the crowd doing debates. And now, hello? Oh,
I'm sorry, my bad. I was talking to my son. Hold on.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Go ahead, Moonlit.
And then a couple hours, and now I don't know if they stopped, but I was just tuning in a second ago, and now Dean is on some other stage doing some debates. So number one, we were told that every one of the creators was going to have their own stand. Like, did I hear that wrong? So I'm confused why the other 30 creators haven't really been engaging that much. Like, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of space for the other 30 plus creators. It's most, like, I understand it's Dean and Parker's event, but like, it just doesn't feel like it was organized, because now there's like this crowd and they're like, okay, who are like the Trump supporters are trying to get people up, but like maybe they should form a line or try to like, it just, or like, I guess I'm just like really, and I don't think it's necessarily Dean and I think Dean and Parker are doing what they can to make this entertaining and informative, other than them not really allowing the other creators to speak. But I just think it really more so falls on Z, because it didn't seem like there was a plan for the day. Like, 11 a.m. we go to this spot, and I do know that they got like their space taken away, or Charlie Kirk had to get like their tent taken away.
And had them their tent moved.
So my little I haven't tuned in. Like, I haven't given my little opinion piece on this yet. But I think that if Z is going to call herself the organizer, she has to be willing to take the fall for the clusterfuck.
He's gonna blame the POC.
She's not, yeah.
No,
she's probably gonna blame Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I really don't want to see the blame go anywhere else, especially when like the creators that like she so-called like organized this event for are like a bunch of 20-year-olds.
So from what and I have live recordings, I need to post them so I can actually play them in the live if I need to. But from what I've heard, one of the creators was live. I forgot his name. That was there. And I was watching him as he was walking to the theater. So the timeline of what he said happened is the day before or the morning of, I can't remember, Charlie Kirk had told the college that he was not going to engage with them, and they got their permit revoked or whatever, or removed, right? And by the way, this is Z's responsibility. She's responsible for making sure that this campaign has a permit and is able to speak to the people that they said they were going to speak to. But that got canceled. Charlie Kirk refused to engage with anybody from Unfuck America. And then they were kind of just standing around for a while, antagonizing the people that were watching or getting in line to debate or talk to Charlie Kirk. And then you come back a couple hours later, and all these creators are walking to this one theater. And this is where Dean and Parker are. At this point, they had set up their speakers and a little table that was like Unfuck America banner. And then they started debating students. They stopped, and then now they walked in the middle of like this walkway to then start debating this MAGA guy who was inside with Charlie Kirk. And now they're on another stage debating this other person. So it's very much like unorganized, as we
Very
said.
unorganized, very
They're
chaotic.
trying to
However,
catch
if
you,
I had an event,
straight
Having
Exactly.
a
Like,
I
billion
had an event to go
microaggressions thrown at
to,
me for being correct is something I'm
Hey,
used
I
to.
would
So,
definitely like an apology for that.
No, I want an apology too because like we called it unorganized and we were right. And she tried to make us paint us out to
I
be
just called it unorganized,
racist
and
for
she got
calling
told that she didn't
unorganized.
know what the fuck she was talking about. And we got yelled at because apparently we all didn't know what the fuck we were talking about. We were being aggressive.
Even though we
Because
did know.
we didn't know what we were fucking talking about. I knew this shit was gonna fucking happen.
yeah,
Here's,
if I
here's the
had a
thing.
work event where I had to do something with like, the public or anything like that with public anything, I would be
Who left?
my
I dropped Moonlit. I'm
yeah,
I'm
let it
dropping
that person.
people.
Here's
I'm
the
letting
thing.
people up here
I
that
would be
thank you DK for coming up here. Let up who?
I need to hear from Lex because I think that saying we're turning something positive into negative when they came up being racist towards us when we were talking about their tour is fucking insane. So
I feel like the negative.
I think
The
this
tour
would have
started
been
off
a
to
very
be
cool
negative.
thing to do. This would have been a very cool thing to do if it was properly organized by actual, event organizers or people who have experience with this. You have a bunch of quote unquote children, in my opinion. I consider 20-year-old children. You have a bunch of 20-year-olds, you're putting them on planes and giving them a loose schedule and
And then
thinking that that's going to fly. That's not how the real world works. That's not how any type of event, especially if you're trying to make it as big as you're trying to make it, that's not how it's going to go down. Hire an event organizer.
I'm gonna
Let's
point this
not
out to
also-
you as well. Hold
Okay.
on, let me add this in there. They also tried to invite two more people of color 2 days before the event. They tried to invite Jaden and they tried to invite Athena 2 days before the event. And guess what they told Jaden? They
Well,
told
I'm
him that
actually
he
not.
would have to buy his own plane ticket because they ran out of funding for his plane ticket, but they can give him a hotel room 2 days before the event.
Yeah. This
Again,
is
but what was
why.
positive about the tour to begin with? Because all the whole purpose of the tour was to harass Kirk. It's just the whole point of it. So
Well, I
again,
would say
Wait,
to be
one
fair,
moment.
Z.
I think that they could have
Oh,
done
sorry.
so much
Wait,
better,
Geek was
especially
talking.
with like midterms
Oh,
coming
never.
up.
They
soon.
didn't. They're not connecting. I was just going to ask once again to the Lex person that wasn't here if you'd like to come up here and speak your mind. The panel is open.
But
So, all right, you're still on timeout. I was dead ass about that.
I feel like they would have been better if they had, instead of trying to have 30 people, have 10, 5.
Right? Why
And
did
you
they have
could have
30 people,
organized
especially
better.
if they were gonna let Dean and Parker just
Come
run
back
the whole
tomorrow
thing?
though.
Why not just bring Dean and Parker if you're gonna let Dean and Parker? It's gonna be the Dean and Parker show.
Yeah, it
They
could
had a
have
few
been
other
Parker.
people. They had a few
because
people come.
they
Like
hired them as DEI hires. This is why.
I will say they had a lot of other people come up here.
And I
Like
love Dean and
Santana got a
Parker,
chance
but-
to speak. Mr. Jones got a chance to speak. Like actually have a one-on-one on the stage. But yeah,
Of
I
course,
do agree
Mr.
that it
Jones
should have
has a bigger
been.
following.
That probably also is true. That's a good point. That's
Right.
a good
Mr.
point.
Jones has an extremely big following. I'm surprised that they didn't let what's his name with the locks, dark skin with the locks.
I didn't catch his name, but I know who you're talking.
Consciously. I'm surprised. Did they let Consciously speak?
I didn't see he was there.
Okay,
they did.
because Consciously is a public
My
speaker.
thing
He
is with
does this
these-
regularly outside of this tour.
My thing is with the midterms coming up, this could have waited. This could have
That's what I
waited,
said.
and this could have been properly organized. You should have took the time. You should have got more funding. You should have put way more.
Because let's not pretend that
way
some of
more
these kids
effort
are still
into
in
it.
school.
Do this during midterms and let it be that. I don't know why this had to happen now. It wasn't the right time. You guys obviously were not ready. Obviously weren't ready. So it was just a fail. It's okay. Try again. Maybe not with Z. Maybe someone else. Try.
Yeah, no, I want to know if she's
Organize
getting
something
paid for
this
this.
big within a
She's
few
calling
months.
herself the campaign organizer. I want to know if she's getting paid, but the creators aren't.
Jaden's he was told he had to buy his own plane ticket and he wasn't going to be paid.
Yeah.
Wait, so they were able to give a bad signal bitch money for a ticket and a hotel?
They said
I don't-
they
yeah,
yeah,
no, I don't like Athena.
Crazy.
but he
I call
couldn't
her bad
get
signal.
he couldn't get his own plane ticket. He couldn't get a plane ticket. He had to
Like
pay
I
for his
don't.
own.
Oh, sorry, didn't they like? I don't even think if you're talking about who I think you're talking about, not Jaden, but the other person, Chichi. I don't think she accepted.
Which one? Which one is Jaden? The one with the voices?
The voice acting, voice actor.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
and then you have what do
But
you
I
call it?
don't think the
They tried
premise
to
of it
invite
is a bad
Athena.
idea.
Dean was in Athena's live the other day trying to invite Athena. Were they going to pay for her to come from Germany?
Child, I don't know.
No, apparently they ran out of funding. But listen,
Maybe.
But they
this
can't
is
buy a
also
tent. That's the crazy
insane.
part.
That's so crazy to me. But look, I'm saying the premise of this isn't a bad idea at all.
I
We
agree.
love seeing the live debates, especially like on the YouTube channel. Like, I'm so I don't forgot the person's name, but the person who would go to Trump rallies and
Was it a white dude?
and just why not
The comedic one?
why
Walter
not
said-
why
Walter
not go
something.
to some why not go to
He's
a Trump
funny.
rally? Why not go to a Trump rally, put up your booths for like 3 creators max, bring 3 creators, have them put up booths at a Trump rally and invite people to, talk and film that.
The only issue is
that's such a better idea. There's just so many good ways this could have been, planned out. There's so many ways
because
this could have
people
gone
actually
about it.
have like an understanding of how to plan things. Like people
Right.
have actual jobs for this.
Right.
Especially like you could have even gotten a
These are
freaking
people
travel
that have
agent to do a
college
better
for that.
job. Because
People have
mind you,
college
when you
for
say
that.
the word tour, you're going around to these places, and their idea was like the reason why this was so expensive is because they chose to bring 50 creators to one place
Right.
instead of bringing two creators to 50 different places. Like that's the biggest issue.
Right. And
Yeah,
I don't want
like-
to hear anybody's you shouldn't be blaming this on anybody, especially not Charlie Kirk. He's been refusing to engage with any type of left-leaning or anti-Trump person with a big platform forever.
I
This-
can
you
even-
had to know this was going to happen.
So I was always under the impression that at this event, like I thought that when they said they were chasing Charlie Kirk, that he agreed like to talk to a few people. But no, that wasn't
No, he
even the
didn't.
case.
No,
Well, that's what I was
Charlie
under the
Kirk
impression
is
of.
They
Yeah.
notorious
told
for
us
ducking
about
smoke.
when they talked to us about it the other day. That person simply who had laid it out for us admitted that they had not to talk to Charlie Kirk's people and organize something. They said that they were just going to be on the same lawn as him, and of course, all he had to do was tell the school who he has a contract with. No,
I don't want to talk to these niggas.
I don't want to talk to them.
My thing is,
Literally,
quick.
all he had to say, I don't want to talk to them.
Wait,
They
y'all,
should have
too many
seen us
people speaking
coming.
at once. Please,
Yeah,
one at a
the
time. I'm
last
begging.
thing I was gonna say is that, like, as someone who does work in marketing, something that you're planning with 30 people, that's gonna take over a year to at
Exactly.
least a year to organize.
Exactly. Which is
That,
why I
that would have
said,
gave
why
you
not
a
wait
year
until
funding,
midterms?
but you guys were planning this for months and then thought you were gonna do it within. No, I'm sorry, that wasn't gonna happen.
Was it in
It wasn't.
months?
It wasn't. And
Wait, I
especially
apologize.
because-
I want to clarify. This has been in action for months.
Was this in action for months? Or
I only realized. Well,
What?
that's a good question.
We were
I
told
don't.
no. It wasn't in plans for months. It's quite literally they thought that they saw that Kirk was going on tour. He was gonna be in Texas, and they was like, "Oh, let's go ahead and go and harass him." I still think it's fucking
Well-
harassment, but still. But it wasn't
At
months.
that
They
point,
just
because he
spontaneously
already
thought about
said-
doing this.
At that point, it was because one, Charlie Kirk is notorious for ducking smoke. Two, he already said, "I don't want smoke." He already said no to Parker. He already said no to Dean. He already said no to Jaden. He already said no to I forgot the other kid's name, Michael or something like that. He said no to everybody already. He's ducked smoke notoriously. Why did you think you could pressure this man into debating you?
Nah, he got y'all spot taken away. That's what happened.
Now
do
he
you
got
guys
y'all
keep on-
outside sweating, and he ain't even talking to y'all.
He
So
notoriously
just to
ducks
clarify
smoke. He
for
literally
everybody in
only
the
talks to
comments.
uneducated college kids. That's it.
Just to clarify for everybody in the comments in the live, I don't know if anybody else in the panel. Oh my god, I can't talk today. Panel is blaming anybody else. I'm blaming the racist organizer Z because all the fault falls on her for
Right.
taking
Yep.
that title. I'm not blaming, and I'm gonna clip this because y'all keep putting words in my mouth. No other creators to be blamed for this but Z for now. She's
actually,
claimed to be the organizer.
I agree with Meadow because Z is the organizer. I know she tried to came up in that live and say it was racist for us to call it disorganized because there were a bunch of BIPOC people who are in their 20s behind the scenes helping her organize this. Z is the organizer. I blame Z. If you
Mind
can't
you-
get a team, if you can't get a legitimate team together to help you organize this, and you're relying on people who
100%.
may not have done organization with 30 people, trying to get them all in the plane and the hotel and all this stuff, then I feel like you as the head organizer need a better team, which means you need to pay
Thank you.
people Because I feel like the reason why you were using a bunch of young 20-year-olds is because you don't want to pay motherfuckers. People were working for free out of their pockets to help you organize something that you were probably getting paid to actually do. And I feel like you're using the free labor of BIPOC people. That is the true racism in that situation.
I also really want to know, it's none of my business. I'm not a pocket watcher. Where did this funding come from? Who funded
People were
it?
donating. People were donating.
That's even worse.
People were donating, buying merch. That's where the funding was coming from.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
You could have reached out to actual. Okay.
Yeah, all I was going to say is that regarding to this entire thing, I do have a specific clip because I was going to make a video about it yesterday over this comment, and I decided to opt out. Yeah, no, Z directly did say exactly what Tabby said, that was pretty much trying to say that we were wrong for saying it's disorganized because there's POC organizers in the background, working in the background. That's exactly what they said. And they were pretty much saying that we couldn't critique this event, this particular this event alone, because POC people are working in the background, as if that was going to suddenly dismiss what we had to say about it just because other Black people were a part of this, a part of this.
And I feel like the only person that this event hurts, because none of those people are named, and really, I'm not going to blame a bunch of 20-something-year-olds who are not head organizers and who probably aren't being paid to work this event. I'm going to blame the head organizer who didn't feel like she wanted to put money out to actually hire people whose job it is to actually organize events. I'm going to blame you. I don't blame the BIPOC people who work behind the scenes. Z, I blame you.
See, I choose you. Sorry, Pokemon,
I choose you.
Yeah, no, I just think it's really disgusting that even if
she wasn't a professional or anything like that, even if she didn't hire anybody, you had to know this wasn't going to work. You had common sense had to tell you that this was not going to go down the way you thought it was going to go down.
Right. Just to clarify, I get panel. I have 3 more boxes open. Technically 4. Okay, never mind. It's not connected. I don't want to. Okay, never. This man's just bringing in. Okay. Boxes are open. If you want to come up and just add your 2 cents, that's fine. Any other of my mods and mutuals that are trying to come up, just to come up, so sorry. I already have 4 people in here unless they want to opt out to leave for you. Just letting y'all know. But yeah, let's go back to just yapping about how disappointed we are with this entire event. Because
disappointed would mean I had hope for it.
Damn. I mean, I did. So I guess I could say I was disappointed.
No, I did too. That's my thing. I never had an issue with what they said they were going to do. I had an issue with what they were hiding under. Z was saying, oh, this is an anti-racist tour, then proceeded to be racist. And then she said, oh, we're going to go and address misinformation and debate Charlie Kirk. The very first thing that was on your guys' agenda has not been done yet. So it's just it's mind-blowing to me that you sat here and got mad at us. And also, trying to put the blame on POC people who we don't even know is fucking insane. Because I doubt that there were any POC behind this tour. I think somebody came to you and said, I want to do a tour. Or your mutuals with Dean and Parker and said, I want to do a tour. So I'm going to go to this tour. And you put it together and you had the money and you were responsible for the funding. You did a terrible job. A terrible job.
Absolutely.
I think
there were maybe I'd say 4 Black speakers. I know that Mermaid spoke to somebody just now. I know that Conscious Lee got up and spoke. I know that what's his name?
Jones?
Mr. Jones was speaking, and then somebody else, Santana, was that his name? Yeah, he was also speaking.
He don't even care if Mr. Jones is speaking like that.
Damn, listen, because honestly, I think that the way, like I said, the entire, even the 1v1 where they try to set up, I feel like just going out there saying one thing and then walking off and expecting somebody else to come up there was also a little bit messy. I appreciated the effort on the 1v1 itself, but honestly, back to what Mehdi said, I do 100% agree with what Mehdi just said. To make the entire tour an event about speaking to a particular person and you're not even allowed to do that, that messed you up. Charlie, that messed you up completely.
Also, it's just not that okay, so you did talk to Charlie Kirk, now what? Charlie Kirk's mind is not going to be changed, okay? He's not. So I would much rather them speak to, regular people the way that they do on, TikTok lives than chasing down Charlie Kirk to have a disingenuous conversation that's going to end in 5 minutes.
But that's also part of my issue. So many of them didn't want to speak to Charlie Kirk. So making this all about speaking to Charlie Kirk when you had someone come, Chris specifically said that half the people that were supposed to be going there didn't want to speak to him. so weren't going to speak to him at all. So when
Mermaid.
I called it false advertisement then, it's really false advertisement now because none of y'all got to speak to Charlie Kirk.
And
Charlie
Mermaid
Kirk
sat there
didn't
and
want to
said, I
fucking
didn't
talk
want
to
to
you
speak to.
bitches.
Right. Who gives a shit
Charlie
about
Kirk said,
Charlie
"Well,
Kirk?
fuck y'all."
Like, no
Yeah,
one
it
gives a shit about
is.
Charlie Kirk.
They're not about like, and everybody there understands why people believe what they believe and how hard it is to convince somebody that they're wrong or incorrect or that their views are bigoted. So to go there and think that you're going to debate people on a college campus, like I saw one lady debating and saying men shouldn't be talking about this period right after Charlie Kirk, right after Parker got done speaking about abortion, and I'm like, you look dumb. Like you really
Yeah.
look stupid.
I just don't understand why not go into their spaces if that's who you want to talk to. If you're going to, when you want to talk to Trump supporters and stuff like that, why not go to a Trump rally? Why not go to a MAGA rally? And
And if this is fucking activism in 2025, our ancestors would be disappointed.
Yeah.
Our ancestors would be fucking disappointed. Like, what are we doing? Hannah's in her car now. Hannah's also extremely fucking racist.
So many things that they could have done better. That's all. Not even they. Z. It's so many things that Z could have done better. I'm not going to blame this on a bunch of 20-year-old kids.
Nah,
No,
but
I will blame the two racist people though, Hannah and Z. Hannah's racist.
I don't blame Hannah. Hannah is racist, but I blame solely
Yeah, sorry, not blame her. She's just racist.
Z, the organizer behind this, who tried to tell us that we were wrong for calling it not organized before it even happened. I call it not organized because I work in marketing, literally,
Actually, hold on.
and I partly had to organize things. And when I'm organizing things for one group that I'm a part of, that already takes a lot of work and like weeks of planning at the least. That's
Yes, exactly.
for one group, and I'm driving from one location to another. That was all the organization I had to do for that. You're talking about flying multiple people from all over the country, and one that you were considering doing doesn't even live in this country. And then y'all trying to do this within how long? Y'all trying to do this all over? And then I knew the moment y'all said y'all didn't organize with Charlie Kirk's team to be able to have a one-on-one debate with him. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's fucked. That's not going to happen. Because you're throwing off what he has going on.
Okay, somebody's making a weird background in the
I'm sorry,
background.
that was me opening a box.
Okay.
Y'all trying to throw off what
What's
he
inside the box?
So I wanted to I don't know if you
It's
somebody sent this to me anonymously. It's I just I pasted it and sent it to y'all in the general chat on Discord. Political firm scams would be state senator lawsuit says this is from 2022, by the way. And guess who's leading this quote unquote scam? This person supposedly raised or got 1,000 signatures for this person's campaign, and then never delivered the money and everything regarding this. And I'm going to read this. So just like the 2 paragraphs of it. A former state senate candidate is suing what he is calling a scam political firm after they gathered about 1,000 signatures for his campaign, nearly all invalid. Democrat John O'Hara contends he paid Soul Strategies, a progressive organization led by Z. Cohen Sanchez. Who worked on the campaigns of Bernie Sanders in Alexandria. Okay, that's good. AOC. I'll just say because I fuck up her middle name. Roughly about $20,000 to collect some signatures and to put them on the ballot in District 17, which covers Borough Park, Midwood, and Sunset Park. But the group barely delivered on their end of the contract. A Brooklyn Supreme Court law alleges. O'Hara was tossed off the ballot, as was his opponent, Yu Lin. I do remember this, actually. I just didn't realize that she was behind it. It's crazy. There was no primary and remaining Democrat candidate. Iwan Shu progressed to the general election against the Republican Vito Labella. Some of these signatures came from miles out of the district. That's crazy. A couple were from the Bronx. So these are just people, social strategies found in the streets, said O'Hara, who was seeking about $125,000 in damages. Some were even registered Democrats. And then, obviously, there's more in regards to that. But, yeah, pretty much that was a scam.
Just to confirm, for the people in the comments and the people coming in saying that we're just complaining, Z came up here prior to this event being extremely racist. People were defending her being racist. Some of the creators there are extremely racist. For example, Hannah. I forgot no, hold on. She's like the first on the list. I just keep forgetting her name. But yeah, extremely racist, put POC in danger, is unorganized, and then called us, or sorry, used microaggressions against us for explaining to her how it was dangerous and unorganized, and then proceeded to present and condone an event that was extremely unorganized. So yes, that is what went wrong. And that is who
And I feel like our
we are
questions were
talking about.
valid as far as security, as far as, well, if this doesn't go through. And I think I asked that,
Yeah.
if y'all not able to talk to Kirk, what else are y'all gonna
Sorry, I'm
fucking do?
confused as to why you're not hopping in the box when you want to say.
No,
When you
I
want to
don't
talk
want
about
to
us in the
hear.
comments, you can hop in the box. You have the ability to come in the box. Can I tell you what she said?
I don't
There's a
want to
recording
hear.
of it on Ali's. You need to link your YouTube, by the way, in your bio, because people could just click on it.
Oh, yeah. Actually,
I
I can
think
do
you
it
could
on
do
my. I
that.
can do it on my iPad. It's fine. Yeah, I can
Yeah, I
do
think
it.
you can do that.
Let me
What
fix
was I
this. I'm
saying?
sorry. Were you trying to invite somebody up here?
Yeah, but she won't hop in the box. She's
Yeah,
gonna
it
keep
says
talking in the
invitation to
comments.
kid. Okay.
There we go.
Invitation to the kid.
You know what? Let me do that right now.
So,
Actually,
wait. I just want to go back to what Ali just said. So Z is this is not her first political scam.
nope.
Ooh.
That's what I just
No,
said. That's
because
what I was just reading,
no,
y'all.
no, that's literally what Ali just
But I'm
read.
not gonna.
Z
I would.
was scamming back in 2022.
I would warn y'all
Have
to
any
watch your
creators
language
said
because I don't know. I
anything
wouldn't
to that?
call this a scam
Allegedly,
yet.
allegedly, I'll say.
Yeah, but I also don't see her name or her picture on this thing, so I don't really know specifically.
Her name's on there. It's
Her
literally
name's
the
in there,
second
Where?
paragraph. Like
led
her
by
actual
her full name.
Cohan Sanchez, who worked in the
So
campaigns of Bernie Sanders and Alexandria
But yeah, that was my
Ocasio.
question too. I was like, what other things has she ran that made Dean and Parker go with her to run something with their face in
Yeah, like
it?
what is her
what are
portfolio
her
look like?
credentials?
Yeah.
Campaign
But
finance Bernie
I
Sanders
also
and
want to
watching
AOC.
their
know.
lives, and I'm seeing everybody sitting there saying, "Oh, my phone is getting so hot. My phone is dying. It's hot. I'm dehydrated." And I'm like, bro, this is dangerous.
It's pretty
I just
fucking
want to
dangerous
know.
business then.
Wait, did I?
Have any creators spoken out about this yet that were there?
No, they're all
No.
defending her racist side.
No, they're all too busy trying to fan themselves because it's fucking hot as hell where they could have just finished raining.
Did they take down the website? I can't find it. I swear, I was literally just on it like the other day. What the heck? Is it my Wi-Fi? Because this is genuinely not popping up.
What's not popping up?
The tour, the
Oh, I'm
website.
sorry. No, they have it
Let
right
me
here. I
see.
can
I
send it
can't
out
see
if you
it.
want.
It's
By
my
the way, y'all,
website.
just to update you guys, it seems like they have now raised 200,000 and $81.30. Just to keep y'all updated. So I guess that's good
Or
news.
what
And it still says follow Charlie
They're
Kirk.
also selling
Is it unfuckamerica.com, .org? What is
Yeah,
it?
I'm just
it's
gonna go ahead and
.com.
share it to you. I'm going to share it right now.
Unfuckamericatour.com.
Tour.
Maybe it's just my thing. I don't know. Because this is insane.
Oh no, it's
It's
up.
in there.
Shit is bright
Meta,
as
you
But
can
fuck.
just
Oh my
click on it.
god.
It should pop
Yeah.
up.
I would also point out that they are also selling merch, so it's probably even more than that technically, because they're only showing the goal for like how much money is raised, so donate it. Probably not including how much they make through merch sales.
Paid for by the National Ground Game PAC, not authorized by any candidate or any candidates committee. Okay. Hold on.
You
Strategies.
had to
Soul
know this wasn't going to
strategies.
work. You can't convince me that Z thought this was going to be all honky dory and fine. Like you kind of had to know.
She knew this shit wasn't honky dory. That's why she was like, I accept criticism. And then when we gave her criticism, it's like, you're making fun of all of the POCs that spent tirelessly working 4 days out of a week trying to make this happen. Yeah, shut the fuck up. You knew this shit wasn't gonna fucking work. Let's be
Yeah.
fair.
You definitely had to. That just and I just want to preface this.
Right, I ordered
I
food,
just want to
y'all.
preface this. And I just want to preface this.
Right, I ordered
I just
food,
want to
y'all.
preface this by saying their main tagline of debating Charlie Kirk. He already said before the tour even happened that he was not going to debate them. He already said no. So I don't know why they made this their main tagline.
I think they assumed that Charlie was gonna allow them to speak to him, and Charlie said no. What makes you think I'm gonna talk to y'all? And the university said, well, he has a contract, so We're gonna have to snatch y'all tent. Now y'all just out there hot and bothered and getting yelled at by racists and bigots. Insane. Honestly, feel like I even asked a question. I said, why not go to a different university?
Right. Why go to
And
that? Come
why go to
on.
this one's particular? Because there's plenty of universities in Texas that you can go to. You could have came down to Houston and go to U. Well, actually, no. I was gonna say U of H and TSU, but don't do that.
It literally would have been better for them to go to a freaking.
Oh,
Yeah, it literally would have been better for them to go to a freaking park. To go to a park in the middle of Texas and set up
yep.
booths. Like, that made no sense.
Oh wait,
Like,
are
literally a parking lot.
you talking, Allie?
Sick. Yes, I was. I was trying to be super optimistic yesterday. Like, oh, everything's gonna be fine. Maybe they'll surprise us. But no, honestly, it's just disappointing in general.
It's worse than I thought because as I'm looking at Mermaid's Live, this bitch is in danger.
Same. It's
This
definitely
is
worse than
quite
I thought.
literally have motherfuckers in her face. Man, the camera's not gonna stop them from wanting to do something to you if you say something out of pocket to them.
Where's the security that they were
Where's the
promised?
security that y'all said y'all had? Or that somebody was up here the other day defending like, oh, they shouldn't disclose their plans to everybody. We're not asking that. We're asking for security. Mermaid's quite literally getting bombarded by bigots and racists in her face. And somebody keep putting their hands in their pocket. I'm fearing for her life. It's ridiculous. There was no security at all. They didn't have security. The questions that we were asking them was that Friday or Thursday were valid fucking questions that they did not want to listen to because it's a Dean and Parker tour and having your name attached to it, I mean, you could probably get more followers. All of this fucking shit is performative and entertainment. That's all it
Yeah.
was.
I feel like if they were actually aiming for something else, they would have dropped Charlie Kirk's name from the entire thing and stopped chasing that man when he said he wasn't going to debate you and uh, go about it way differently. You don't have to go to the same college as him. You don't have to go to a college campus at all, if I'm being honest.
There was more places y'all could have went. Y'all could have went
Way more
to a
places. You know how
church.
many Trump rallies there are all across America right now? Like in the South and Midwest, there's always Trump gathering. These people are very loud.
The police is not.
Like MAGA is a
That's
minority,
the
but
thing. When we ask them about security. There's a difference between police and security. The police reacts to whatever happens. So say for instance, something happens to Mermaid, they'll react to that. They're not automatically they're protecting her. Again, there's a difference between security and police officers. Police officers are very reactionary. Security have to be there all the time. Like the police is not there, so it's fine. No, that girl is in fucking danger.
Yeah, where was
You
Z's?
too close to me.
Quick question: where was Z's TikTok again? Is that it in the
Z to the
background?
hill?
Oh
Is it
wait, that's her
something?
face, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm looking because
Ali, you're muted again.
I'm
Sorry,
looking at
I don't want to be like as I'm looking this stuff up. I don't want to be like yapping. It is D to the hill, by the way.
Okay, yeah, that's her face in the background, just to be sure, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, because I found.
Wow.
So she's also the apparently the founder of Soul Strategies. I'm
You
just
just saw
I think that's what it
Conjure's video.
mentions. I think that's what it mentions, like in the post. Hold on, let me
Let me
see.
see. Let me look. Let me
Make
go look at
sure.
Conjure's video. Hold on. Hold
Yep.
on.
Yes, he is. So Democrat John O'Hara contends he paid Soul Strategies, a progressive organization led by Z. Yeah. So you're right, Tabby.
okay. I'm gonna send you this right here, just as.
Yeah. So you're right, Tabby.
Okay, I'm gonna send you this right here, just as so that we know for a fact that this is the same person, so I can definitely say she's a fucking scammer.
Because I don't think. Let me see if I can also.
Look what I just sent.
Where's TikTok at on my
Look
iPad?
at what I just sent.
Okay, one second.
Boop.
Opening it up right now.
The conscious. How do you spell that nigga name?
Okay, found an executive director.
Shoot.
Okay. Interesting. Democrat candidate who will win seats across the nation since founding the Souls in 2020. Her multifaceted team
Founded Soul
were working.
Strategist. Soul Strategist is the organization that he sued for scamming.
Whatever that is.
And that is the
Yikes.
same woman you have in that background.
That is true. That is the same woman.
So, as far as I'm
I'm
concerned,
looking
I can
at-
now legitimately call her a fucking scammer.
So, I'm looking at the Conscious Lee video, right? And Conscious Lee's have Simply Black, which is the man that was up here that knew more than everybody else did.
Mm-hmm.
He said that he was able to talk to Kurt, and apparently Kurt called him a KKK member.
What?
Go look at the Conscious Lee recent video.
What?
Can you play it for the class?
Okay, hold on. Sorry, yeah, I'm pulling it up. You said consciously?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
He just posted like 36 minutes ago.
Oh, okay, conscious. Okay. For some reason, I don't think I follow him on this TikTok. I don't know why. Hold on. There he is. All right, is this?
Straight Charlie ass, you know what I'm saying? So y'all know the footage, you know what I'm saying? Let them know what to look forward to.
Hey, look, tomorrow, y'all about to get some real shit coming out. Charlie Kirk called me a KKK member. Yes. Remember that.
The one clicked up with the KKK. I'm talking about the KKK endorsed his candidate. He called him.
Uno reversed my ass.
They
What?
was just out and about.
No Uno out. Draw 2 more cards. Goodbye. So I get here really and see.
That's crazy. So I don't know. Like, are they not letting people in?
Because if it's engagement bait, I'm gonna be so mad.
I knew he wouldn't.
I would like to see him being engaged with them, please. I would like to see that.
He didn't even want to put the make it great again on his hat this time.
Sorry, he's talking about a black man that's MAGA. He pointed them out in the crowd too. John consciously funny as fuck. I don't care. But anyways, yeah, that's. I guess we have to wait for that video because I am. Oh, sorry. I guess we have to wait for that video because I am curious about why the fuck did he call you that? I'm not surprised.
I need the whole clip because some of y'all like to cut shit out. I need the entire conversation. I don't need no stops or nothing. It needs to be a constant back and forward.
Because what did you say?
Yeah, because what did you say?
What did you
What were
say?
you wearing?
Stop it. No, don't do that. Don't do that, y'all. She's kidding on that part. Do not listen. They're gonna take that and run with it. They're gonna take that and run with it.
Going back to the article, this is actually because I'm reading further in that New York Post article you read. This is coming from the lawyer who was in charge of that that lawsuit where they're seeking damages from Z's organization. The lawyer says, and I quote, "This is one of the worst won petition routes I've ever seen," said O'Hara Law. As there said, yes, it was a redistricting. Yes, it was a redistricting area, but bottom line is these were collected in completely bizarre, unprofessional, unmanageable ways.
Again, what was the credentials besides this bullshit ass? What you call it? I just want to know, like, what made y'all choose this woman out of people that y'all could have paid out of pocket
Go
for?
look at her
to be
website.
I did. I sent it to y'all.
Let me go to Discord.
So for some reason now my iPad won't let me go back to the post. That's weird. Like to the NY post that I sent you guys.
I'm grabbing right now.
And I figured that was the case. You're good. No, honestly, yeah, I really, like I said, I'm not expecting much from this live, y'all. I really just wanted us to yap about it. That's
I just wanted to show that we were fucking right, and this shit was fucking unorganized, and now niggas are walking around with their hands in their pockets, running the fucking theaters and shit. But no, this shit was fucking. I would like my apology, please, and I would like it back.
Girl, who are you expecting to apologize to us?
Everybody that came up here yelling at us about you guys are bullying Hannah and Z, and I want my apology, and I need it
Girl, the
now.
only person that did that was Z. To be
And
fair.
Hannah,
Well,
you guys are bullying.
no, I don't care about them. So, yeah, whatever.
About an apology. I'm never one to care about apologies, but I do want the black people that went there to justify them fucking collabing with the racists and being fine with collabing with the racists.
Maybe they were like, it's water under the bridge because I'm going to be doing my own thing anyways. Like,
No, Mermaid understood that. Like when Sam said that when she went into Mermaid's live and was like, "Hey, you guys are like being funded by racists," she was like, "Well, we just want the good vibes here. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about Z." And she's posted
Again.
pictures with the lady, and I'm like, "You're weird."
Y'all
Riot was right.
Yeah, because if I can remember correctly, in Mermaid's Live, she was like posting up with Z as well. Like, it's like, oh, here's Z, hi Z, like smiling and everything. So that might
because
be a good
she's
point.
paying them to buy tickets and shit. And
Well,
I think
that's the
Mermaid
thing. Are
lives here
they
in Texas, so she didn't have to go for her.
Well, that's
Mermaid
the
does not live in
question.
Texas.
Oh, she doesn't. Who lives in Texas then?
Chris G.
Oh,
Chris G
Chris
lives in
G.
Texas.
Never mind. I was confusing the DEI hires. My bad.
Oh my god.
It shouldn't be that funny, but that was a little giggle. That was funny. Either way. Yeah, y'all. That's that on that. I just want to know when's their next event. We probably won't know for like months.
Girl,
Honestly, watch after this. They're gonna shut it down. Actually, let me not jinx them like that. Let me not do that.
That was fun. We lied about it being a
That was
today.
fun. That was it. By the way,
Like,
we're done.
we just needed your money. Now
Time to
we're
wrap
out.
it up. I hope
just
that's not the
kinda-
case, but
At this point, I'm just kind of wondering. I think someone said it earlier. Like, at this point, there's no real sense in following Charlie Kirk. Like, I initially understood the point of it, like seeing is how big a following Charlie Kirk has and how much support he is able to garner on these college campuses. So I initially saw the purpose of it, but with him now not wanting to debate, it's kind of like you can still go to other college campuses and basically be doing the same thing you're doing right now, because they're not debating Charlie Kirk, they're debating other college age Trump supporters. So
Well, somebody was able to debate Charlie Kirk, and it was the Simply Black testimony, whatever his name was. He said that he was able to debate him, and apparently Charlie Kirk called him a KKK member.
No, that was consciously.
No, Conscious
Simply
Lee
Black
had
Theory.
Simply in the video, the one with the dreads.
Was it Simply Black Theory or
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I
Simply
call
Black
him
Theory said that he
testimony,
was
but
called
his
a
name is-
KKK.
Yeah, he
Oh.
said he was. Yeah.
He said we gotta wait for the video tomorrow because supposedly they're gonna edit it and post it. But yeah, supposedly consciously was there, so I guess we'll have to wait and see exactly what was said and why he made that comment. Like I said, still not surprised. This is Charlie Kirk speaking, so
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised he didn't call him the COO N-word, to be fair.
yeah, no, and honestly, y'all, I'm not surprised they have a lot of followers in their lives. That's great. Of course, Mr. Jones gonna pull in 4K. I saw Johnny earlier had almost 8K in his, and Medi shared somebody that had 7K in his. So they obviously everybody's been kind of trickling from live to live. I don't care about that. I'm more worried about how that crowd was as smaller. Actually, it was just small. At least the first 2 hours of them trying to do an event. And then I think now they're just kind of around, because I just tried to go into 1 second. Mermaid was still live, and Erica was live as well. And it seems like the crowd's very, 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 down. You mean now? You're saying the crowd's there now?
Better find a mop. It's getting sticky in the beach.
Or are you just saying the people that are in his live are it's popping off? Those are two different things. Let me see here.
I'm confused. Because I'm looking at these two things.
And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say something that's maybe controversial, but probably not. It was kind of funny seeing how, especially Parker, how he doesn't have the same necessary finesse of debating when he doesn't have the ability to mute the guests that he's debating. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah, that's
And
normal.
that's typically how TikTok influencers go when they try to debate people in real life. You can't mute them.
You can't tell them to shut up and get out of your fucking panel. You have to actually sit there and let them little berate you and talk back to you like they're your fucking child. Like you their fucking child.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I can. Yeah, currently right now, Miss Jones has 1.5K watching, and it does seem like they have a little crowd like just gathered around. Right now, it does seem like they're just talking, like they're literally just like yapping, talking right now. Like Dean's talking right now. I don't know what it's about.
9 out of 10 of your peers could quite frankly care less about what this administration is not just doing to our country, but the people around it. So give a round of applause to yourself.
Can we also talk about one?
Yeah, that
That
crowd's
one
not as
white
big as
guy
I
who made a
expected.
video about Z because he was invited on the tour and he was supposed to go, but he was like, "That is racist."
Peyton, because he spoke out against them.
I think I've been following him for a while.
Yeah, he's friends with Tashika. He spoke out against them, and they
Did he go at all today?
took him off the tour.
I don't
Oh,
think
so
he
he got
said
taken off.
anymore.
Yeah, he got
Well, he
kicked
said
out.
That's
that.
probably why they invited other people.
I heard, well, like in that video originally when he called out, he said, "I'm still going because I have like my own shit to do." But let me see if he's talking about it. Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Best idea to scream "good job"
Hold on.
from experience, but it might not be the best idea to scream "good job" at a woman who is running by.
Oh, never mind. This is a joke.
What's that?
Yeah, he hasn't made a post
Isabella
about
just
it,
said,
so yeah, he probably wasn't out there like that, or maybe he just doesn't care to post as in the moment. But yeah, I swear in that video he did say that he was going down there. Did he not?
Yes, and then he, like I said, he's friends with Tashika. They had a phone call. He got kicked off the tour.
Go to my repost. If you guys want to know who it is, just click on my account. It's like one of the videos reposted. He's like a white guy standing in like a. Is he by the mountains? I don't remember.
Yeah, he's literally just standing like by like the like it's like cold, snowy.
Yeah.
You'll see. You'll see him. You'll know.
But W Mans.
Yeah.
Fine, a mop is getting sticky.
And honestly,
in this
like,
bitch.
and that now I'm curious because when I don't know if you guys are in here, but Tashika did come up here the other day and was telling us that supposedly people dropped out, like the big like black readers dropped out, but where?
Yeah, I'm
Who
not
was she-
seeing that.
Who was she talking
I
about? I
don't
don't
fuck
know.
with any of the creators that went and knew she was a fucking racist. Especially Simply Black and Mermaid.
Oh yeah.
Chris G was in my live when that, and I don't know if he came in. Not Chris G. Who am I talking about?
Yeah, you're right. He came in too.
No, but I don't know if he was there like when Z like Z had her moment. You know,
That is true.
I know Erica was there, but I don't know if she was there when Z had her moment. I don't know. But it's honestly y'all this. Yeah, y'all. By the way, just what all they're doing right now is just talking. It doesn't seem like they're even doing 1v1s. It's like late as heck, and they're just sitting there, just.
Everybody went fucking home or to their dorms. They're tired. Like it's a Monday
It was
or a
pretty much all day
Tuesday.
event. Like I think it started like 11. Like people started to trickle in, or well, actually probably way before then.
So are they going home tomorrow? I'm confused.
They have a crowd around them right now, and it's like a crowd of people just, I guess, talking to them.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Andrea
saying,
is
they're
her
just
name.
yapping.
Andrea or Andrea, whatever.
One Trump supporter that they invited up onto stage to talk to him.
Okay, I'm seeing somebody coming up now. Yeah.
Better find a mop is getting sticky in this bitch.
There's somebody in the comments named Ranchi T. So I mean, in the class.
Oh yeah, they came up earlier. I don't know why they dropped, but yeah, they can come
My
back.
bad. Can I say something?
No. Why would you ask? Of course, like we invited you up here.
I didn't want to
Of course.
interrupt your conversation.
Yeah, what did you want to say? What's up?
My bad. Hey, Eileen here. Hi, everybody. Nah, so I've been watching Allie's Little Live ever since, like, what was it? How long you been doing this? Like Friday, Saturday?
Yeah.
And my thing about it, what made me kind of that irked me is because to me, in my honest opinion, like I can kind of understand and respect the shit that Dean and Parker say they fight for. But I kind of had a feeling, that exactly what the hell went on today, exactly what's gonna go on. I already knew Charlie Kirk gonna duck them boys. I already knew that.
Yeah.
So why did y'all come out there still and did the same exact shit that you basically do on TikTok Live, just in person, on stage?
What I think that happened is that they probably thought that, they were going to like scare Charlie Kirk into like agreeing to like debate them. I don't know why, but that's the vibe it's getting, right? Like supposedly he made it clear he wasn't going to talk to them like days ago, like I think Saturday or Sunday, whatever the case may be. They still showed up and they still tried to get in line, and he was like, no. They probably did expect for him to like make up his mind once they were actually in the
What?
in the crowd, but that's their fault, honestly.
That's their fault. But here's my question: what the fuck did you need 50-something thousand dollars for? And you talking about chasing this man around the country? So something ain't adding up. That's
You
my
know, and
point.
that's still a good point as well, because what are the future events? We haven't seen anything about supposed future events.
And you want
They
like a
raised
quarter of a million
100K.
dollars.
Not
That
even
is
that, they
crazy.
want that. They
Z
already
looks
raised
fucking
like
weird. I'm looking at.
they raised quite a bit as well.
I'm
So
sorry.
far, they raised like 100. I don't know if you were in here earlier. They raised like 103K, almost 103K,
Oh wow.
like already within just
Yeah,
tickets.
it was for their
Just
flights and
tickets.
hotels because somebody doesn't know how to plan shit. Wait, let's see. She has strategic advertisement, field operations, funding, digital marketing, video editing. Where is it at? Press. I'll click on field operations and see what she does.
I will say it was always interesting to me. Like I get how when you're like a crowdfunded, it can be, I guess, maybe difficult to make a like full-fledged plan. But I was expecting some more information about what are the other stops on the tour, you know, like
There
who
are
else will
none.
be going on the tour.
This is their first one. I think they're just testing it and they called it a tour. They should have called it a pop out. That really
Like a
annoyed me.
pop-up event.
A pop out
That
is
really
crazy.
annoyed me. And now my freaking cookies are gonna be on this app.
Definitely should have called it a kickback.
Like, I don't trust that lady. Like, she's weird. I don't trust that lady. And she's racist.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We did try to warn them that it's a possibility that this shit could have happened, but they
My
said no. I'm
look,
gonna still
Should we
go.
do like a shock Pikachu face nowadays? Because we actually, right now, what I think we should do is wait and see what happens, right? I think we should wait to see if the website's going to be updated or if anybody else speaks up after everything, like tomorrow or like this week. If anybody's like, you know what? Yeah, that went to shit. And
Her LinkedIn.
I want to hear from
somebody to be
Z.
like, yeah,
Out of
that's
all
kind of fucked up.
people, I want to hear from Z. Like racist, like yeah, obviously I think that she is racist at this point. I want to hear from her and see if she has anything to say about it. I'm curious. I really am.
but Allie, can I say something?
No. Why do you keep asking me that?
Because I don't want to cut you off, but before I cut anybody else off, in case
Go
anybody else
ahead.
want to say
You're
something,
good,
but my
Ronjo. I
only
was kidding.
thing, just real quick, here's my thing that's gonna like eventually, you know what I'm saying, make me mad. And then like just to save face for y'all go add all these people, these other creators, but if it's Z, Parker, and Dean, for real, because I don't really see after what I've seen and witnessed today on live, y'all didn't doing a good enough job for what y'all said that y'all gonna go there for. So you went to Texas A&M and didn't even see or talk to Kirk.
It's
So, but
definitely
y'all
not
got paid?
I
That's the thing.
guarantee you that they're still going to, like, not even just Parker Dean, like every creator that was there is still going to like basically talk about the event like it was like a really good
A
opportunity. They
win.
got to have some good conversations. I guarantee it. I can already hear it.
Not to
They're not
interrupt you
building
guys.
community.
So I made a video, right? I think I already told y'all about the video I was gonna make, and I'm just not seeing people like actually make a comment about it. People are really like people are trying to excuse this. Like two people are saying, I think it'll take some time. Let it get some traction. I think it'll be fine. It's been 8 to 10 hours, and then it says it's their first day out there. I say, and I'm disappointed they hyped this up. And then I think somebody that's actually on there, or maybe that's just a picture looks familiar. Somebody named Rose says, "Did you organize?"
Well,
That's funny.
I want to reply to this comment
Did you
because I
organize?
hate the fact that people are saying this. So to the starving millennial in the comments, I don't need your praying from your white Jesus. I have plenty of love in my heart, but the organizer is absolutely racist and use black people's names in the name of this mess. So you think we're hating, that's fine, but you keep supporting that racist. You do you.
I don't know why people keep saying like hate, like actually giving commentary and giving your opinion on something is not hating. That's just like giving commentary. That's just
I
using.
feel like when people to forget that constructive criticism exists, they feel like if you're disagreeing or if you don't agree with what they're doing, all of a sudden it's considered hating.
Yeah,
I
it's so
gave you
weird.
constructive criticism of your bullshit as to how you planned this shit, and apparently it's hating and apparently it's doing harm to these POCs that spent 4 days in the trenches planning this shit.
Also, another thing, they're not building community. They told people that were already a part of their community to come and support them. So
Also, they were low-key like grifting people. What do you need 50K for to do what? For a free
That's what
event?
people were saying.
what did they do? Somebody please tell me
What
what
did they do with
they
that
did.
money? I need to know.
They basically did what they do on TikTok, except for they didn't have to like say thank you for the donation like every 5 seconds.
What did they do? I would like to know.
So is everybody in here?
What did they do? I would like to know.
So is everybody in here right now all in an agreement except Martina? That's just not coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm just gonna say my opinion.
Wait,
first.
Wait, one second. No, I'm just trying to host real quick. You one moment, Martina. I'm gonna let you rock because I know that you are kind of have something to say. I'm just gonna drop the people that just recently came up, just because I need to clear the box just a little bit, y'all. I got to. Okay. Oh, sorry, Jessica. My bad. Oh, never mind. I didn't kick her. Never mind. Martina, go ahead.
Okay, like my opinion is that it just kind of reminds me of like when everyone was kind of tone policing Jasmine Crockett. Like I don't really understand the reasoning as to why we are upset about what they're doing.
Because the owner's
Does anybody go and like do any type of, do y'all advocate on your own, or are we just like going to talk about
Black women, by the way.
what they're doing?
Anyway, I'm gonna address your first claim. The owner's racist. She came up here being racist towards a panel full of Black women, and then used POC that she wasn't even willing to represent on the website to say that they were behind the tour, and she had no safety or protection and really I'll say anybody there, but especially the Black people. Not one security guard, not one paramedic. So that's why we're upset. But yes, panel full of Black women, mind you, do advocate for their communities, do support their communities.
Yeah, do you think that we're like talking crap about the people there? Because that's not the case.
Yeah, because I feel like you wasn't here to listen to the entire
I'm
thing.
kind of looking at it like there were like Santana was there, Erica was there, like there were Black people that were there. And like, so when you're talking about the tour within itself, it's kind of like discrediting what the people that are actually out there speaking up.
Can I say something?
I just want to say this real quick.
It's like,
I don't feel bad for
Wait,
people.
let her
Okay,
hold on, stop.
I didn't
Let
know
her
she was
finish.
done. She stopped talking. She
sentence.
technically stopped talking. She
No, she did
Let's be
not.
fair. Yes,
No,
she
she
did.
didn't.
We'll
she
play
didn't.
it back. Play it back on the video.
Well, she just
will.
speaks slowly. I guess she just paused for a little bit. That's fine.
Thank you, Tashika. Oh damn, I can't. Never mind, Tashika. I can't thank you.
I don't know. I'm not talking.
Oh my God, go ahead, Martina.
Martina, can you finish your sentence, Chi-Chi, and then Tashika?
Yeah, I'm done. That was it.
Girl, I don't remember what you said. Repeat the last 10 seconds.
Well, she was regarding the POC people that were there and the fact that they were actually speaking up. But I wanted to respond to that
while defending their racist organizer.
Yeah,
but
so
I didn't defend anybody. I just said that the people that were there, I said
you didn't sit.
Yeah, I didn't speak about the organizer. I don't know anything about the organizer, so I didn't speak about that person. I'm just speaking about what the people are actually doing.
Right, that's why.
Why are we getting mad at each other?
There's an order. Wait, stop talking. It was Chi-Chi.
The topic,
please.
Martina, stop. I literally have an order here, okay? It's Chi-Chi and then Tashika. And then Meadow, I guess Meadow had something to say as well, but Chi-Chi, Tashika, Meadow.
My question would have been like, were you here the entire time that we were talking about it, or you just decided to come into the live and try to defend the racist white organizer and the DEI hires?
Stop.
Can I answer, or do I have to wait for everybody to ask their question?
No. You can engage with me first, and then we'll move on to the next person.
Okay.
Your
So
DEI
yeah,
moment.
I just got here and I looked at the, what the prompt, I guess, and then I commented and then I was invited up when I made my
Okay.
comment. So
Okay, so to answer my question, you were not here and you didn't decide to just listen, you just decided, you just commented and decided you were invited. Okay, that's all I wanted to know. Because if you wasn't here, then I'm not gonna go and constantly repeat myself
No, I
to
invited her
Well,
up.
somebody
Later,
who
Chi
who
Chi.
wasn't paying attention. Who was talking to me?
I don't know who that is.
Who was that?
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god.
I'm scared. Is that a
Go
man?
ahead, Jashika.
Is
Oh,
that a
thank you.
man?
Whoa, ladies, what's wrong with men? Relax.
There's so
Oh
much.
yeah, you
I don't got enough
already
time.
got it. Already starting. Gotta go.
Also, what the hell does the background even say about any?
Yeah.
Sorry, it was the Chica's turn. Go ahead.
I just want to say really quickly. I think it's important that we don't use the phrase DEI in a derogative sense, because I feel like that just kind of capitulates like the white supremacist talking points regarding it. But also, I this whole thing of like the fact that like Santana was there and Erica and Mermaid were there. I think that that's not representation. and I think when I say that, people get really confused. But Black people just repeating the same things as everyone else is not representation. The point of the representation would be in regards to the personal experiences that these Black people will have and how that may shape their own arguments. But if they just come up and repeat the same arguments that like Parker and Dean are able to make, then they're not actually representing anything. They're just people repeating the same argument. So I disagree with the fact that there was like all of this representation because all of these Black creators were there. Because I watched these live streams and they didn't say anything crazy. They didn't say anything that was beyond the scope of what Parker and Dean were not already saying. So no, I actually don't feel like there was a lot of representation present.
To answer your rebuttal, I'm gonna do what I want. I'm a grown ass woman.
Damn.
Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
It's not about you being a grown ass woman. It's just racist.
I've never claimed to be a nice person, Tashika.
It's not about being nice. It's about valuing Black people and making sure that we aren't regarded.
I hate everybody equally.
As
What
DEI.
are we talking about?
But DEI is in regards to. I'm not doing this with you. Go ahead.
Chi-Chi's not gonna give it.
I'm not doing this.
Either way, Martina, do you want to respond to anything Jashika said before Meadow engages? Because Meadow has a few things to say. Go ahead.
Yeah. I would just say to Tashika, I think like so I think you're a pretty big creator, like in my opinion. I watch your lives all the time. I think that you do like great debates.
Aww.
And so I would just say like maybe if there was something that you could organize, like I would fully support and get behind something that you would put out, or if any of you guys have any type of thing that you want to do, I would be glad to support it. I just don't really see like what the objective of this live really is, I guess.
Okay, I don't know how many times we have to repeat it, but it's really annoying that we're being ignored. You sat here and said that we were talking to creators that win. The background doesn't even have their faces up, so that's really wild to me. Number two, you still haven't addressed the fact or even asked for like the recording for how Z was being racist, but you came up here assuming that we were just attacking those people. No, Z came up here being racist, and I will keep saying it. The organizer is racist. I never, and I'm going to say this again because I know not everybody who was in here when I said it was here. The blame will fall on the organizer because she took responsibility, and that is her title as the organizer. She's responsible for those people's safety. She's responsible for how those people got there, how those people will get home, where those people stay tonight. So she's racist. Just to clarify, the people that are there, I can name two of them, Hannah and Mermaid, defended her because she was being racist. They actively ignored people letting her know, or them know, that she was racist. So we're talking about the tour itself, and I don't know if you can see, but the person whose face is on the background is Z. So
we
that's
can
why we're
discuss
holding
the
this
moral
live.
dilemmas of the people who still attended this tour because there's all of them know about this happening. Zero of them care. So we can discuss the moral dilemmas of that, but I don't know if that was Ali's intention with this. I think Ali just wanted to talk about shit with her friends.
Exactly. Yeah. And either way, obviously, all of us were going to either way. the people were going to be brought up, but that's why we were asking you earlier, Martina, how long you were in here before you like made your comment or before you came up, because we've mostly been just talking about how disorganized it was and how upsetting it was, and about Z. We only mentioned the people in passing that are a part of this tour in regards to what they're talking about on live or what they talked about on live, and none of that was negative. So yeah, if you were just more, if you were thinking that we were over here to talk shit, no. The entire point of the live is really just to once again talk about this, and honestly talk about how disappointing it was and how we were proven right from a live that you weren't a part of a few days ago either, about how racist this person was in my live. That's the entire point of us having her specifically in the background. It has nothing to do with the Black creators directly. We can talk about them. We have been talking about them, but it's not about them.
Okay, well that was just my thoughts on it. I just saw like how the Unfuck America thing going, and I just kind of felt like it was more so negative. So I was just wondering, like, do you guys plan on hosting something, or like what are your thoughts towards that?
Wait, I'm not understanding how you got the insinuation that that it's going to be quote unquote negative. This is a question, by the way. Okay, that's a question. The only thing that's negative in regards to this is about towards Z. I'm the organizer. We are here to call out Charlie Kirk. That is me being sarcastic, because obviously, if you are aware, they weren't even able to speak to Charlie Kirk. A lot of them weren't. Dina Parker specifically weren't even allowed to get in line to do that. Therefore, that is me being quote unquote mean to her. But the tour itself that's just a question at hand. That is literally all. I think that's the issue of you guys not looking at the context or looking at the prompt itself and then assuming the worst. It's not
Y'all
about
not
that.
listening. That's the fucking problem.
Quick question. Do you
I
think us
the
calling out
question just
somebody
kind of
who's
gives off
racist
like
is
a negative.
negative?
Yeah, like it just gives off like a negative tone. Like the question itself
Do
is not
you
like
think us calling out? Do you think us calling out the organizer who is racist is negative, or is a bad thing?
I didn't see that question as calling out the organizer directly. I saw it as speaking on the tour itself, which is speaking on like
She's the only person with her face up here. I don't know why we're lying. Like, she's the only person with her face up here, and her account is also up there. So, and she said she's the organizer. So, do you think us calling out somebody who's racist is negative?
I don't see that there. So when I came in, I didn't see it.
You don't see her account, her face.
The person.
Am I crazy?
No.
She's saying you don't see her account and her face in the text box.
All right, calm down. I think the issue that we're seeing here is
okay. Y'all have a good night.
Okay, Martina.
I don't know. Okay. Y'all have a good night.
Okay, Martina.
I don't know. I
think what we just witnessed is a really common thing amongst people, is where they don't have any kind of like comprehension or like context clues skills. They don't have any kind of like comprehension or like context clues skills, because there's absolutely no way that she could have missed that. Like zero chance.
I just want to know what creator specifically we attacked. Okay.
I just want to know what creator specifically we attacked.
Somebody said that you're the bad guy? Am I tripping?
No, somebody just said, okay, calm down. When I said this is what happens when you argue with stupid.
Was that... Wait, Tashika, was that directed towards her? I thought that was just because 3 people were speaking all at once towards Martina.
No, I just didn't want somebody to like freak out. Like, I didn't know how to react to being called stupid.
I think at the end of
okay. Well, I mean,
think the problem was
sorry about that then, I guess.
Yeah. Your background isn't showing. You're showing a US pause.
Okay, 1 second. I'll fix that.
Showing US pause. There you go. You're back. I was just gonna say that it seems like it's more so that she came into the space
a comprehension issue,
creators that she loves, versus like actively hearing what the conversations is about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, she did admit as well. That's why I was like, I'm not like that upset, but she did admit that first and foremost she came in late when Chi asked her, and then she was already under the assumption that we were trying to be extremely negative towards the event alone or towards other people, when it was never about that. But yeah, that's the issue. Unfortunately, every time we have these conversations, people assume the worst out of us. And it's really interesting coming from another Black woman,
I did
thinking
have
that we
another.
are, just to say this, thinking that we are trying to just be negative, like on purpose, like just to be condescending and being weird, when that was never the case. I hate when people do that, especially when obviously she didn't have any context of what was going on. That's weird.
One
Yeah, I'm
more,
starting to hate
one
the
more
word
thing.
negative, the negativity right now.
One more
Very
thing was
negative.
what I was gonna say is
Ouch.
coming into a space where we're how do I find it weird that the other day people had no problem with Mermaid saying that it's hard to organize and plan your own events versus like, because if I want to speak on the college campus, I already do that. I spent most of my college time speaking about colorism, attending events where I was actually actively listening to colorism speaks and talks. I do that under my real name. I don't do that under my TikTok name. I oftentimes don't put a lot of the stuff that I do as activism on.
Oop. Hello? Can't hear you, Tabby. You're gone into the wind.
To be getting her back blown out.
Do y'all hear me now?
Stop. Yeah.
Not today. Not today. What I was gonna say is, yeah, I don't put a lot of my the things that I do physically on my local area on this account because I don't want people to find me. I think like for my own safety reasons, I would never do that. Even when I was actually speaking on my campus, I had a TikTok account. I wasn't putting that on my TikTok because I don't want people knowing what college I went to. I like going back to that college and being able to do speeches without people finding me. I don't do what I do for TikTok.
Yeah.
So if I want to speak on things on TikTok, I'll speak on things on TikTok. If I want to do community work in my area, I'm not going to put that on TikTok because I don't even go by my real name on this account. Why would I post locations that I'm currently at or that I tend to go back to on this account? I don't do that. So if you're asking me for something that I'm not going to provide you simply because my own safety.
Right, exactly. Exactly, and I agree with that as well. Yeah, anybody else want to say anything? Anything else to yappy about? I think that at
Yes.
this point, I would just be repeating myself personally. And I know that can be tiresome. What did you, go ahead, Maddie, what did you want to
Yeah, I
say?
also don't understand why people think that just because a leftist is doing it, we immediately have to support. I don't understand what that logic is. Like, we're not allowed to critique or dislike any. Even if I just didn't like the bitch, okay, I'm gonna talk shit. But now she's racist, so I'm talking more shit.
Real quick, for the person who just said Maryland in the comments, yes, I'm all over the DMV. Good luck trying to find me between DC, Maryland, and Virginia. 2 states in the city. Good luck trying to find me in the DMV. That's the most you get out of my location. I don't know if you did that as a funny thing, but the most you get out of my location is DMV. You're
Listen,
not
I'll
going to
meet
get
y'all
a
in
specific
downtown
person.
Houston on Main Street. I ain't scared to tell you bitches I live in Houston, Texas.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yeah, I was just going to get you in the conversation. What did you want to say, Ty?
It wasn't anything about this, but I do love hearing what you guys say. So I've wanted to become more educated, like on economics. Just if
That's not the
anyone.
conversation. Joseph, or I'm sorry, Isaac. I thought it
Why
was
do
cool.
they always ask us? Why don't y'all Google it? Like, Google it.
Anyone of y'all an economic teacher?
You're taught that in senior year. Google it. God.
No, I just to clarify, I only dropped you because honestly, we're not even on that topic. We're really just here to talk about the prompt and the event alone, not about anything else. No rude, like not trying to be. That's like the 4th time me having to apologize for dropping somebody. But either way,
Yeah, stop doing that.
Fucking doing
Cause
it.
fuck them.
Damn. Sorry for trying to be a good host.
I was muted, but I also said don't apologize.
What does that have to do with being a good host? How is it
You
being
know,
a
I
good
feel
host
like
to apologize?
I feel bad when I drop them sometimes. My
Girl,
bad.
why? This is your shit.
So
God
that doesn't mean that I can't feel bad. Leave me alone. Sorry.
God damn, you so nice.
Leave me alone.
Y'all over
Anyways,
here coming at her for having empathy. That's crazy. Block him.
Listen,
Absolutely.
you're late.
Empathy
You're
at the
late.
wrong fucking times. That's
They
the
do this shit all the time. Anyways, Isaac, I know that you came up because I'm sure you had opinions. What did you want to say?
Right. Hi. Can you hear me?
Before
No.
Isaac goes, a black woman apologizing to a white man for kicking him out of her space. Crazy.
It's crazy to me.
It's that chick.
Okay, don't dig
It's
it
that chick.
in. Don't dig it in. Shit. Okay.
Don't what?
Don't dig
Don't
it
dig
in.
it
It's
in.
crazy.
Tashika knew what
Oh,
we were
dig it
talking
in.
about.
You
That's great.
dig it in. Sorry, y'all. You know I talk fast sometimes. What's up, Isaac?
Hi,
That's
yeah.
that Oklahomian.
I'm currently
Suck a word.
at a friend's house, so tell me if I start.
Far away.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think I might have it. I'm not connected to Wi-Fi right now, so if I start going in and out, please tell me. I can try to move spaces. Anyways, I was watching like some of the lives that were broadcasting their time at is it Texas A&M? That's where they're at, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't catch it in time for like any of the stuff with Charlie Kirk, but I was told, and it's been repeated, that he denied conversing with almost everyone.
He talked to one of the creators.
Everyone. Oh.
But I don't think he knew that he was a part of the thing.
Oh yeah.
He talked to Simply Black Theory, who also don't like black women. But
I know why they
also
talk to
this-
Simply Black. Hold on. Simply Black is the only one that doesn't have a profile. Doesn't have his face on his profile.
That's how they knew like who not to let him speak to, because anyone
Every
whose
other
face was on the
creator that's
website was
every other
I could've
creator
sworn
that's
that his
listed on
face.
the
Maybe his
website has
picture.
their face there, but his face is not there.
Oh, yeah.
His face is not there.
No,
He's
it is
definitely
now.
Black.
So they made a post. They made posts today to where they were saying meet the tour, like meet the people.
No,
and
no,
he's
no.
posted
I'm
in part
talking
1 and part
about
2.
If you go to their website,
that's probably what they were basing it off of.
Yeah. I
they're
gotcha.
going it based off of the creators page on the actual website. He's
Okay.
the only one whose face isn't there.
Oh, okay.
That's
Gotcha,
why
gotcha.
that's why he was able to talk to him, because he's the only one whose face they didn't know.
With that being said, Isaac, so sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was just making sure I had that right before I like followed into my question. So given that has happened, like I think Chris is currently live right now, like with the background saying like Charlie Kirk ran for me, right? So do we think that this has any type of impact whatsoever, as far as
Honestly, no.
In terms of like dispelling the misinformation from Charlie Kirk, absolutely no, zero zilch. But right now they are having a bit of like an open air jubilee thing going on right now, and they've drawn like a little crowd. But you know that's gonna be like that's gonna be like this. Whatever impact you think they had on TikTok is the same impact they're having now. It's definitely not more than what they usually have. It's just the same thing.
Fair. Given that they're mostly debating Charlie Kirk's like followers and supporters, considering those are the people that they're there for anyway. They're not there to change Charlie Kirk from. They know they're not going to change Charlie.
Well,
Kirk
we
from.
actually don't know if they're debating Charlie Kirk supporters. They're debating anyone who wants to come up, which this is a large campus, so we don't even know if these people were supporters of Charlie Kirk or just people who are like anti-AB.
Who are just there just to be there.
You know what I mean?
Okay, fair enough. From the people that I heard them debating, or at least talking to and interviewing, a number of them said that they either supported Charlie Kirk or at least his talking point. So
I'm sure at different parts of the day, they definitely came into contact with them, but I'm not sure of if the people that they're debating now are Charlie Kirk fans. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But either way, I still don't know that. I still don't think they changed anyone's mind. I'm gonna be real with you. I think the way. Do you disagree?
Now, the issue I think I have is that online, obviously, people can they can get buck, right? They can put on a front and be a lot more like more of a tough guy, if you want to call it that. And it seems like the people in person, at least from the people who have interacted with, that I just saw like Parker debating someone, and they'll give him his props in person. They'll be like, "Oh, I actually I want to talk to you." Yeah, like I want to talk to you because like I think you're actually very educated on this, that, the third. So given that they're all there together and there's like that discourse going on, I find that to be at least beneficial for people to be forced to take a look, because I think what I just saw was some of the arguments were being justified using the Bible. And they were debating abortion specifically. And so I think that being able to like be right there and have people be like, no, this is what your book says. So
and you can't run from it.
Deny it anymore. I think that being able to put the truth in front of someone and be like, at this point, beyond this, if you deny this, you're just being delusional. You're just being dishonest.
In front of people, No, you are absolutely correct, Isaac. I like with stuff like this. I still think that's a net positive, right? Like all of our greatest like civil rights movements or movements in general have been begun. Are you okay, Ellie?
Sorry, I just had a shiver. You're good.
But yeah, like all of our greatest movements have like begun on college campuses with people going face to face and talking to people. So I think in that regard, it is a positive. My issue with the overall thing that they have here is one, obviously the organizers and the organization in general, and two, I also feel like if the Black people weren't there and it was just Parker and Dean, it would have been the same thing.
Okay, I can agree to this. I can agree to this 100%.
Yeah.
As far as Charlie Kirk like declining interacting with them, is it now fair for like more people to go around being or calling Charlie a coward? Because I think it is.
Absolutely.
I don't know if I would call him a coward since he's already spoken to them multiple times. And it seems like they don't actually bring any new arguments. So I would I probably wouldn't want to talk to them right now, especially if last time one of them tried to talk to me, I was like, I don't want to talk to you, because they do constantly bring the same arguments, or so what I've heard. I don't actually care. But that's you can call him a coward or not. I don't care what you call him. You call him a gremlin, a gargoyle. I don't care. But I think the fact that like for so long, the first half of the event being centered around Charlie and like trying to climb a stone wall, trying to get to him was a little bit problematic. I think the way that they were treating the students was problematic. I wish that the entire event was just them having their own spot on campus. If what they have right here.
That's what I was saying as well, Tashika. 100% agree.
If what they have going on right now, if you go on watch Mermaids Live, if what they have going on right here, if they just did that the entire time, that would have been peak, right? Not for anyone else, but for Dean and Parker at the very least to debate in person would be peak. Now, my opinions on the POC that are present is what I don't know if you heard what I stated before, but I don't think any of them actually brought anything new to the table. And I don't actually think that that there was any representation. I think the important thing about representation from different groups is that your experiences and your beliefs and things like that influence the type of arguments that you make. And if they're just making the same arguments that Dean and Parker are making, then Dean and Parker could have just did this all by themselves.
Yeah, just to also add my 2 cents, and I'm gonna let you go as well, Joseph, and anybody else that wants to just engage with what Isaac's asking. Yeah, pretty much. I felt the same way. I was telling Discord chat a few hours ago that I think that it would have been great as well for if it was just where the event was more focused on talking to college students. I would have been all for that instead of making it about speaking to Charlie Kirk and trying to troll or get a one-up on Charlie Kirk. If that wasn't something that they were hyper-focusing on, which they were, then I wouldn't really have any complaints. I really wouldn't, right? I would say, obviously I would probably have complaints about with Z, because she still said what she said, but I wouldn't have any complaints about anything else. I probably would even be feel bad about how disorganized it was. But yeah, pretty much that it was more about the website was very clear. Right. Local about I'm doing our own little thing. We're going to be there with Charlie, in the same space Charlie Kirk is in, but we're going to be set up here. If Charlie Kirk's fans wants to debate us, they can. Yada yada yada. But they made it about that man. They got people hyped up for at least a week, if not 2 weeks, about debating that man, and that never happened. So it's now everybody everything's just really down.
Yeah, I think the sum up is, if they have just started off doing what they're doing now, the main contention would be the moral issue with the people who did go on the tour and knew this information. And I think that should still be called out, and the fact that the people who run the tour are racist. But now you just have all these other things that are
Right. Joseph or Meadow or TT, anybody want to respond to Isaac just about how they feel about the tour itself, or about the setup?
You're supposed to respond to me. What do you?
Oh.
I want to say that I agreed with you, and also the point you just made, Ali, about it, because now it seems like essentially false advertising, because now Charlie's just I'm not debating them. So this whole point of we're going to dispel his rhetoric. I mean, not directly to him, maybe to some of his supporters who may have memorized some of his talking points or some of his arguments. You get to talk to them, which again, they are there for at the end of the day. They're there for the people who support him because they know they're not going to change Charlie Kirk's mind. But I do agree that the advertising this way, giving him the opportunity to know that, hey, we're coming to speak to you directly, all for him to just say, like, basically, no, not happening. This now, it ultimately feels like false advertising. Not that they could necessarily control that, but in the same breath, maybe we shouldn't have advertised it this way.
Exactly. It shouldn't have been like the main event. Like if they made the main event about the 1v1s, 100% would have been okay with that. But their entire website, the entire the entire account was about Charlie Kirk. You know. So with that being said, who wants to respond to Isaac, or who wants to add their 2 cents before I let Joseph and just Ethan go?
I feel like we all have been saying the same thing, that the entire shit was just unorganized and just could have been better. I don't think anyone said anything different.
Well, that's what I'm asking. Did y'all want to say anything in regards to what was just said, or do y'all? I'm going to get Joseph and
I think
Ethan
that's a
in
great
here.
sum up. I think we summed it up.
Okay, period. Joseph, hello, random stranger. What did you want to say about the topic?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with Tashika when she said that there wasn't any representation, when literally majority of only the black people were speaking. Literally the only white people that spoke to debaters were Dean and Parker.
Let him get out. Let him get it out.
And you're saying how half of the people were white. There were a good majority that were black. And
they were not a majority.
The only bias that this Chica has is because she's like Dean. And
is this a troll?
Oh my god! Can y'all like stop?
Let it go.
Jumping. Can y'all get off her dick, please?
Oh god! Mom,
I think we all need to address this, Tashika.
Oh my god, bro!
So if you all right, let me handle it.
Y'all be dreaming about the bitch.
Let me handle it. Okay, so Joseph, instead of adding that last part, do you want Tashika to engage with the whole?
I can engage.
Not enough of the people of color.
Ask a question before.
Yeah, I think she can, but
well, it was directed towards Tashika. I want to give Tashika a chance to respond, and then I'll let you go, Tabby.
Yeah, so you just kind of proved my point here, because you didn't refer to any of the arguments that the people of color were making. You were just talking about the fact that they were there. My issue was not the fact that they were there or that there wasn't enough of them there. I think the representation was fine if you're just going by race standards. But by actually making a change, they didn't actually do shit. They didn't do a single... can we be for real? Like, being black is not the only thing that qualifies you to be in a space. It just isn't. It is your experiences. It is your beliefs. And it is how those things end up culminating in the arguments you make in these debates, in these discussions. Not all black people are equipped to talk about racism. Not all women are equipped to talk about abortion. It's not that's what I'm saying. Like, if these people cannot make better arguments than Parker or Dean, or are making the exact same arguments as Parker and Dean, then no, there wasn't actually any representation. It was just Parker, Dean, and groupies. These people barely even had the camera on themselves actually advocating or doing anything with people. And the one person that actually had a group, I'm not done speaking. The one person, Mermaid, who actually had a group of people around her while she was talking, didn't get any camera time. There were 4 cameras all on Parker having the same conversation, and not a single one on Mermaid when she was actually doing grassroots advocacy. That's a problem. That is not representation.
And just before you respond, just before Tabby goes, I want to clarify as well, just to add my 2 cents, because I saw that part as well. I also thought it was interesting that when she was speaking, she got in, sorry, what am I trying to say? When she was speaking, when Mermaid was speaking, suddenly you see Dean come in, and it's like suddenly all that attention got focused on Dean. And like, no hate towards that man, but I do think it's interesting. I feel like Mermaid could have finished that off perfectly fine. But whoever tagged in Dean is like suddenly the white dude that was speaking to her about abortion, right? Because that was the topic. Suddenly it was like, okay, she's out of there. Like he didn't even engage in her.
Section was just about Dean and Parker, and I'm like, hello.
No, what I thought was interesting is that when they wrapped it up, when Dean had his like 2-3 minutes with that person, they wrapped it up, and he was like shaking people's hands. And you hear Mermaid go like, Thank you for being at least, patient. Thank you for being, like
Yeah.
yada yada. He didn't look at her once. He shook Santana's hand. He shook Dean's hand. He said hi to everybody else, or he was like waving at a few people that were like listening. He didn't look at the camera at her. He didn't say anything towards her whatsoever. I thought that was weird. Misogynist, but either way, misogynistic is what I would say personally. But with that being said, Tabby, do you remember your question?
Question was like, did you have as for, I would say, Ward Joseph, did he have a comment on anything that anybody else said? Because several people have been speaking in regards to this tour, in regards to the organizer behind the tour.
I got hella clout.
Or just up here coming
about that,
just up here coming for Tashika.
I watched that whole 5-hour live. When she came up, she was immediately met with just hostility, and you guys.
And buddy.
Hostility.
Sorry.
So Joseph, I agree with you. I was the one that was actually hostile when she first came up. I'll admit that.
Hell?
Well, actually, no, not hostile. I wasn't hostile.
What?
Wait, no. Hold on. Let me correct myself. I wasn't hostile towards her. I gave her energy because if you were actually paying attention, she interrupted the entire conversation. She interrupted Tabby when she was showing the website, and she was interrupting me when I was trying to, talk to the comment section. She came up and was being sarcastic. I can literally play that part right now if you like. I can. That's why I said I'm not going to say that. My bad. That's why I dismissed that. I wasn't hostile, but I don't think that's hostile. Just to clarify, Joseph, I think me saying, "Hey, stop talking. I'm going to mute you." I was in the middle of speaking. Give us one moment. I understand you're the creator. Can you explain to me how that was hostile?
No, I was speaking for Tashika because she was very disrespectful.
That wasn't my question.
Okay, what point?
Cutting her off.
Hold on,
yelling
I'll play that
at
shit.
her.
I don't care.
My question
Was I the only one on the panel?
Hello, my question was, do you have anything to say to anybody else on the panel besides Tashika? Because Tashika isn't the only one speaking on it. And it seems like you got tunnel vision.
No, I'm saying the whole thing of you calling her racist was because she called Tashika loud.
No, that's not what
she was yelling at Hannah.
What are you talking about?
She also didn't even call Tashika loud.
Well, she said that she was screaming at you.
No, she said that Tashika was a bully.
And Tashika wasn't
even talking to her.
You talked about everybody on this panel. Why are you only targeting?
But that's not why we called her racist.
Well, when Tashika was yelling at Hannah.
Stop saying my name! Stop saying my name! Stop saying my name.
Oh, whatever your name is.
Stop saying my name, bro.
When Hannah called you out.
So Joseph,
stop talking about me right now.
Hey, all right, I've been counting how many times you've been saying Tashika. It's quite literally 20 times. Can we please stop saying this woman?
I want to clarify.
Not the only one involved in this. You're talking only to Tashika. Tashika is not the only one involved in this. My request for you was to actually address other people other than Tashika, or that tells me you're not here for genuine reasons. You're not here to actually discuss what we're discussing. You're here because you want to talk about Tashika.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna agree with you, Joseph. If you're just here to focus on Tashika and you feeling like Tashika was quote unquote rude or disrespectful, I'd rather just move on to Ethan and what they have to say.
Well, she did sexualize Dean.
Okay. Thank you for coming up here. Thank you for coming up here,
bro. 22 times. Just want me to be known.
What was that?
I swear to God, every time I'm on a panel, y'all get the Parker Dean treatment where everyone only cares about me.
I just think that, I understand why they feel the need to, quote unquote, address you because you have history with them. But at the end of the day, we're talking about this, right? If you had issues with what Tashika said in that live, that's fine. Address that or address what she said here. Don't make it about the past. To me, I think that's just, let's be real. We're not here to talk about Tashika in her past. Problematic or not, I don't give a fuck about that. Let me make that very clear to people.
That's also just a straight up a lie. I don't think we should breeze past sexual harassment. You know what I mean? I don't think we should breeze past such a serious accusation. If you genuinely think I did that, I'm gonna say something nasty to you. Go ahead and hop in my DMs. I'm gonna hurt your feelings.
With that being said, I was going to play the part to where, she came up being sarcastic and patronizing, and even the part where she's trying to give us the rundown about how we're wrong about saying it's disorganized, but I don't think it's worth it unless somebody asks for that directly. Ethan, what did you want to say?
As far as I feel like the whole Unfuck America tour thing could have worked in conception if we didn't recognize who the hell the organizers were, and when a pair bleach demons get together to try and give, to try to talk about shit that happens in America, it's just like it's always going to come across as performative as fuck. And the entire live was extremely performative. It had that entire vibe throughout the entirety of it. So much so that I couldn't like even sit through the entirety of it. It's just like, oh my God, what the fuck are we actually talking about? I'm just gonna like get the fuck out of here because there's like no point.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Black. I'm Black. It's an interesting name.
Oh.
Hey, what did you want to say about the tour? About what we're talking about?
Not really anything special. Actually, I came up here to ask a question, but I'm pretty sure the panel is not going to be very
Oh,
I want to know what they have to say.
wait, maybe it was pertaining to. You didn't even give them a chance.
Oh my God.
Stop dropping people.
You didn't even give them a chance.
This is my first time dropping people. Shut up. It was my
To be
first
fair,
time
she
dropping
hasn't.
it.
Yeah, to be fair, she
To be
hasn't
fair,
done it
she
like
needed to get
in
to
a
the
long
fucking
time.
point. She's taking forever to get there.
It was 8 seconds.
I would say at
Taking
least
too long.
let's not make an assumption on how the panel is going to react to your question. Just ask the question without any of the cautions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I hope I didn't say anything rude. So my question is to Sheikah, actually. What
Here we
happened?
fucking go.
I can't. No.
Here we
No.
fucking go. No more questions for me. No more questions.
No.
No more questions for Tashika.
No.
No more.
No.
No more
Y'all have
questions
said
for
this woman
Tashika.
name like a mantra
Leave
10
me the
times.
fuck
That is
alone.
enough.
No more.
So please, if this is going to come,
No more questions for Tashika.
If you guys are trying to turn this into call out Tashika for her past,
I'm just gonna
leave
say
me
something
alone.
nasty to you, bro. Lock in.
No, literally, y'all. I'd rather I'm trying to focus on this.
Jesus.
On this topic, not about Tashika and what she did.
Bro, I
whatever
didn't
the
do
fuck
shit.
You did. No, you did some things. Don't lie about that. But you did a few things, but it's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't need y'all to say that every fucking time where people harass me. I hate these niggas.
Stop.
She didn't say anything. She didn't do anything. You guys are making it up.
Oh God, bro.
This is for Tashika.
So now we're okay.
Oh my God.
Everybody.
No.
And I'm pretty sure that was like a 13-year-old.
Tashika.
No, I'm pretty sure that was like a 13-year-old.
This is for
So with that being said,
big fat white.
My biggest fans, bro.
Y'all are weird. I would never be cool with people that I have. Listen, for this person I can't stand. What the fuck are you doing here?
Because
Anyway, I want to keep
I'm
talking about
still
how the
a very
organizing
entertaining
exists.
person, despite
I
how much they
actually
hate
just
me.
want to talk to the Black creators that support this racist organizer. That's the only reason why I'm up here.
yeah,
I just want to ask Mermaid, how did it go getting yelled at? I just want to know.
Hello, discount.
Hello.
Or discounted, sorry. What did you want to say?
So I agree that the Unfuck America tour seemed very disorganized.
Okay.
Because when I did watch when I could, because it was lagging at sometimes on different creators. I had to go to different creators all the time to find it. And I did notice that in the beginning, they got their permit taken away where they were supposed to be supposedly 20 feet away from Charlie Kirk's status. And I feel that should have been handled before and should have been secured before they even came down here, because I'm in Texas. So came down here because they did not know where they were half the time. Like they were scattered across the campus from what I did see. And they were trying to organize later on, I think the opposite side of the campus or the opposite, like far away. So I did see that it was unorganized. And I don't think that, who was it? The one that organized it, quote unquote, I use quotes. I know y'all can't see me, but the one that organized it was very wrong when she came up, because I only caught a little bit of the live where she did say that, like basically attacked the entire panel, your panel of Black female content creators. And she did say like that they don't understand. Y'all didn't understand how to organize something big. I do think that she was 100% wrong in that and saying that to y'all, because I don't think that was at all called for. And that's about all I have to say. And the fact that I love Tashika, even though I'm saying her name, I'm sorry. I still love you.
Hey,
25.
All right, well then, period. Thank you for coming up here. Keelam, 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 Keelam,
Oh,
Keelam.
Yeah, that's literally why. Yeah, that's literally why I named myself that. But I would have to say that I agree with you guys in the fact that the tour, as it seemed today, was hella unorganized. It seemed like everybody was all over the place. But I do know that, like, because I follow one of the creators, Dan, and I do know that from like last night he had said that they had lost the booth, and I know that the whole draw. It wasn't initially that they were debating Kirk. Like in his promos that he's been making leading up to the event, he specifically said that we got a booth 20 feet away, and I thought that the whole goal was trying to like basically neg Kirk into giving them a debate, because I had no faith in his ability to be good faith or try to organize against people who were actually like educated on the subjects, as opposed to targeting college students who may or may not be educated. Isaac said something up here that was really good too about the tour, and I think Julianne was the one that mentioned it initially, about like having 4 cameras on Parker from 4 different creators when Mermaid was interacting with the college students. I think that was a missed opportunity that definitely something could have been done better on. Like from the parts of it that I was able to catch, it did seem like it was centered on Dean and Parker, which I guess they're the 2 biggest creators there, so they would draw in the crowds, but it did feel kind of all over the place, like I said.
Felt like again is what it felt like is it was Dean and Parker and the gang. Like it seemed like it was like I always say, like, when bringing like it's like writing a story, right? Like how you pick who you bring on a trip like this is like writing a book, writing a story where you have different characters. Tell me if I'm wrong or right. So if in a story and you're reading and you have all these characters interacting with each other, if you can remove one character and the story doesn't change, then that character isn't needed. And you can remove another character and the story still doesn't change, then you don't need that character in the story. And that is how I felt about everyone but Dean and Parker. That is how I felt about everyone involved but Dean and Parker. I feel like the event would have been exactly the same if it were just them. And I think it would be quite effective if it was just them. I think I would be in more support if it was just them, right?
I think I'd have to agree with you because, like, the way from the coverage today, it seemed like if there were less people, even if it wasn't 30, if it was like, 5, 10, if it was Dean and Parker, like you said, I feel like they would have been able to accomplish more. Exactly. I think having numbers probably hurt them in this case.
Yes, I believe that it spread them very, very thin. But and then also just factor in not even factor in the stuff from the outside of the event, not the context of the event, but just like I just feel like I don't know. It was just off. I also feel like just like I said before, no one brought anything new to the table. I think everyone just kind of were repeating the same arguments that they would make on here, which is why a lot of people were saying that they were bored or that this wasn't actual advocacy. I would have preferred for them to like hold a seminar on these different types of issues, have people talk about it. Because I don't think debate is the best form of advocacy in this time. Like and obviously I'm actually still not sure what the goal was still, but beyond Charlie Kirk. But I think if we're going to advocate, we should incentivize for people just talking, right? I think that's what changes minds better, where everyone comes out, they talk about their experiences, they don't have to respond to anything, and then you talk to the crowd, and then you can have the debates. I think that would have been way more effective than just jumping into debates and then it's just like TikTok live. You know what I mean?
Kind of
I
like
think
an
this would have
informative
given
panel,
everyone
right?
an ample chance to be able to show who exactly they are, what they stand for, what their opinions are, and then people can respond to that.
Right. So I want other people to be able to speak briefly, real quick. So what I, no, it's okay. With that being said, I want to hear from Cam, and we do have a few other people. Wait, hold on. Who is this? If you're coming up here just to, okay, y'all, I gotta clarify. If you're just coming up here to saying the same stuff that we've been saying, then I'd rather just not let you up. No rudeness, but we already have 7 people in here that are pretty much agreeing with each other, all in
Also,
one.
to clarify, can we keep this on Z because that's what the topic is about? Her lack of organization skill.
I agree with that as well. Cam, did you want to talk real quick? What did you want to say? I agree with that as well. Cam, did you want to talk real quick? What did you want to say?
I did. I wanted to respond. Honestly, there was a lot I wanted to respond on, but since Meadow or whoever made the designation of only responding to Z, I will just only keep it with Z. I watched the live when Z came on here, and I had a very kind of democratic view to what she had to say. I saw Ice, who is now on here. I saw her screaming and yelling at Z, calling her names, calling her everything else other than a child of God. And Z responded by saying, "You seem very aggressive and angry," and which Ice was. Like, let's not get it twisted. She was very angry and aggressive.
Do you want me to call you names?
I would like you to call her names.
I can start.
Everyone, wait.
Would you like that?
Everybody, wait, hold on,
Would you like
hold
that?
on. Everybody
If I
mute
started
themselves.
calling
If you are
names?
not, if you're not Ice, if you're not Ice and Cam,
Let's not get it twisted.
I can start
if
if
you're
you'd
not,
like
wait,
that.
I'm
Black
muting.
girl just
Okay,
like you,
hold on.
sweetie.
I'm gonna also mute you. So just to clarify, if you are not Cam and Ice, since Cam's specifically talking to Ice, let them speak to each other. Please don't jump in and
Does it make you
interrupt.
happy?
Name calling. We can get to the name calling.
Do you
And
want me to start?
You don't have to mute just me. Okay, there's other
I
people.
didn't. This is why it's important to pay attention, Cam. Did you not see me mute my mods as well? Exactly.
I don't see Ice muted. You're
You're
I
speaking
wasn't
to.
talking.
Like
That was
I was
you.
saying.
Okay,
when I
actually,
watched-
fuck that. You can go too, since you don't know how to fucking follow directions.
Ass bitches that got something to say. Shut the hell up.
You had your chance. Literally, I was just trying to set the
I would
rules.
like
I
Ice to
literally
respond,
said.
You
though.
can come back if
I
you
would like Ice to
want.
call her
I don't think
names.
that's fair. Because then
Ice
it's gonna say
was-
that we're being aggressive towards people calling us out. So.
Yeah, that's. Well, no. To be fair, she said Ice was being aggressive
No,
and
I know.
everything.
That's what I'm saying.
I would
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
and I
to
wanted
say,
her
sorry,
to speak to Ice directly. No, that's okay. If she wants to come up here and talk to Ice, that's fine. But
You can come back.
if she wants to, she doesn't have to.
I would like to
but go ahead,
say
y'all.
that this habit that we have of looking at the reactions of Black women and now thinking, what could have caused this is a problem, because I don't know, like, if you go back and listen to that, I don't know what kind of context, like within the screaming, within the yelling that Ice did, she gave context for why she was yelling. She was very concise, even when she was upset. So for you to just hear it as yelling, I think you have some cognitive dissonance that you might need to drill through. Also, I do want to
Cam,
let
you
you
can come
know.
back.
I do want to let
Go
you
ahead.
know that upon first entering the panel in the first place, Z did say that we were antagonistic. So she did make the first jab. I don't see why Ice would just yell at her for no reason. I've seen Ice on panels before. She doesn't really yell, so I don't know why.
Literally the first time in month.
Exactly. So, like, I don't know.
Can we let that forehead
what
back up,
this-
please?
Give me that forehead,
She has
five head back up.
She has to
Damn.
be in the box. Go.
That shit was pushed back, though. I can't lie.
That shit, we're pushed
You know
back.
what? It's okay, Cam. It's
Start
okay,
doing your
Cam. I
makeup
see
like
we.
it's 2025. It's not 2006 anymore.
It's fine. I see we haven't left our bed wench mindset. Simping for a white woman on the live. That's crazy.
There has to be a chip
That is
implanted in
wild.
all of our
Honestly,
brains.
if y'all put your foreheads together, it'd be one amazing beach ball.
The tour would have been better.
Fantastic work.
Maybe, just maybe.
Maybe we just
I
take
just,
off the
I
wig.
just,
Just pull it back.
it makes
telling
me
you right
so
now.
sad to see. Go ahead.
No,
No, go ahead.
it's your chance.
No,
Yeah,
no,
you're
no,
good.
go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, it's like, listen, I, believe it or not, don't just be getting mad at people. What agitated me was that lady came on here from the jump and was snarky, was rude, was disrespectful, and then saw another interaction between Tashika and Hannah and immediately went, yeah, just like you, Nick. Pretty much. And honestly, hot take, I'm not going to sit there for that. And I know, Cam, that's not something you're used to, seeing as if it's white supremacy, one thing about you, you're going to wank it the fuck off. Not me, though.
Real
Not
quick,
me.
Cam, how are you gonna say in the comments you can't come up because you're blocked?
Older. She's
You're not
old. She's
blocked.
not
It doesn't
even.
make
Yeah.
any sense.
She
Like,
told
you're
what happened.
in the
What
comments.
happened?
How are you blocked?
Wait,
You're
what happened was she
talking to her.
denied
Also, wait,
and
Cam,
declined the
why do you
invitation.
follow me?
She follows me as well, to
Cam,
be
why
fair.
are you following me?
Yeah, why do you
It's
follow
like
all of us? What the
the
fuck is
Lord.
She
happening?
follows all of us.
Yeah, I think it's just because from that live when we were originally having it and everything. But either way, yeah.
So what, you've been stalking and waiting to show up?
I
Damn,
guess
it's
so.
always fan behavior.
I'm a little confused why she immediately said that Ice was just screaming because I feel like she's pulling a Z. Were you there? Do you know the reason why Ice quote unquote screamed at Hannah? Or I'm not at Hannah. I'm sorry, at Z.
That's what I think she don't. I don't think she knows.
That is the issue. You guys
No,
come in
she
and
does.
assume. But either
Definitely
way,
Z.
I want to introduce a new
But
person
again,
in
like,
here.
Big forehead at it.
I don't know. I personally, on my free time, don't like to like upset my ancestors by slaving myself to a fucking white bitch. Me personally, I like myself too much. That lady was disrespectful. That lady was rude, and that lady was obnoxious from the jump. I think she deserved everything she got, and I think actually she should get worse.
So
With that
I
being
tried
said,
inviting you up here, Cam, but you declined the invitation to come up here. So now we cannot invite you back up here because you turned it off because you're
Like a
pussy.
A button,
all
bro.
that forehead, no brain, and it really makes
Not
me
a
mad.
single
All that
brain.
forehead and no brain in there. No
Like,
space.
this is why I don't
Space.
trust black women with big foreheads. I really don't, because
Kanye.
All they do
See,
is
a bitch puts on a crooked ass wig, and then suddenly she thinks she can yap. That's the problem. You see,
That's
you know,
the sewing.
you know
It's too
what the
tight.
actual problem is? Y'all want to know what the real problem is? Y'all want to know what the real problem is with this here TikTok? See, ever since they allowed just anybody to start yapping, that's been a problem because weird bitches like you can't even get 100 people to say you're interesting. Suddenly,
she said,
people become
she said,
stuck.
Oh,
Meadow requested to talk about Z, but let me get on Ice real quick.
yeah, that was interesting. I want to get the new people in here real quick. Antoine, are you in here to pretty much just agree with what we're saying, or actually are you disagreeing with anything?
I disagree with a few things that you all are saying.
Okay, yeah, sure, go ahead. If it's directed towards Z or about what we're talking about with Z and how how disorganized the tour was, that's fine. But if it's like about Tashika or anything, please leave it be.
You know, I don't know anything about Tashika. I think I've only talked to you once, and that was back when I was a Christian. It's been a while.
Interesting.
You've done better with your life.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
You've done better.
So, I don't think the tour was necessarily unorganized, especially when they got there. They had things, put together. Something they were missing was a map, though. Right? They didn't know where they were a lot of the time.
It's called being unorganized. Like,
thankfully, we all have phones, right? Thankfully, we all have
Fine.
devices, right?
Okay, you're here just to crack jokes, Antoine. Because if you are,
No,
I have to drop you.
I'm not here to crack jokes.
oh, well, that was like a genuine
okay.
statement.
I thought that was a joke. To be fair.
No, I thought it was a jokey joke.
Okay.
No. Well.
Well, what did you want to say?
Was it a joke?
I think the reason why it seems so unorganized is because of
Okay,
the.
sorry. Go ahead.
The reason why it seems so unorganized is because of the roadblocks that Texas A&M and Charlie Kirk put in the way. Right? They took away their spot and stuff. They were
The contract that they signed?
Wait,
A good organizer would have accounted for that.
Can I
Yeah,
respond?
the organizer would have had a contract for it.
So, y'all, come on now. They didn't even finish what they were saying. We can't immediately jump on them.
I know,
Let them
that's why I
finish.
raised my hand. I wanted to be the first to respond.
You said a good organizer could have done something about that. I don't think there's anything that anybody could have done.
Well, as somebody who's been around good organizers and organized herself, yeah. But Tabby wanted to respond to you. Sorry. A good organizer could have done so much better.
Is that yes, it is the organizer's fault. I wouldn't blame Charlie Kirk's team because they did what they were supposed to do in regards to him and his safety and how he wanted his time to go. If they if they
Jesus Christ.
advertising this as a debate with Charlie Kirk and them taking the fight to Charlie Kirk, the proper way for an organizer to have gone about it is prior to that being a main part of their advertisement. They should have reached out to Charlie Kirk's team and actually set up a time for that, so they knew for a fact that they could have that happen before they put that in their advertisement.
Why
That's
wouldn't
how
it, by
you're
the way?
supposed to go about it. If you are trying to organize this and you know for a fact that that's going to be a main part of your advertisement, is the main part of what you guys are going there to do, you should have that already set up for you guys to do. Not just hoping that you guys get a spot on the same place as him, and like essentially putting yourself in line to hope you get a chance to speak to him. You should already have that guaranteed, and that is on the fault of the organizers. That's not on the fault of Dean. That's not on the fault of Parker. That's not on the fault of any of the other creators that are coming. That is the fault of the organizer, Z herself, because that is the main thing they were advertising.
Okay. Why would Charlie Kirk comply with that at all?
That's
Okay,
not,
so
that's
again,
not,
when they're
hold on.
organizing,
That's exactly the point. Why would they then advertise that as their main point if they knew he wasn't going to comply?
They didn't advertise that Charlie
They
Kirk
did.
was going to let
They
them.
did.
They
It's on
quite
the
literally
website.
did.
have you
Yeah,
seen
you
their
go to
website?
Unpacking.
To Charlie Kirk, and they even sat here
It's
and
still on the
said
website.
many people. It's the main thing on their website that they're taking the
Have
fight.
you
to
seen their
Charlie Kirk,
TikTok?
where they're going to actually be debating Charlie Kirk. As with Dean and Parker, the main people who are the main people of this event, even came out and said that they were going to be addressing Charlie Kirk, debating Charlie Kirk. And that's the main thing on their website. As much as the organizer said that their goal is to get people voting, they didn't set up tents to set people up for voting. They didn't put their main thing there in bold letters that people are going to read. This is about voting and setting up voters. They put take the fight to Charlie Kirk. That's what their main thing is. That is the main thing being advertised. That is the main thing that they said they were going to do. So that is the main thing that the organizer was supposed to set up, and they failed in that regard.
Excuse me.
It makes it unorganized.
Okay. Again, they had the spot set up. They had these tents ready, and they were removed from Tech Fight.
So again, that's where a good organizer steps in.
Or it's because they got this.
No, it's because she's a shitty organizer. Why are y'all so quick to protect this
Why
lady?
is Charlie
Like,
Kirk-
why can't you?
It's
Wait.
not
I
Charlie
have a
Kirk's
quick
job
question
to make
because
sure that they're
genuinely.
organizing- to make sure their movement works. It's not.
Have you
Charlie
ever
Kirk's
done
job
any
for that.
kind of like organizing
Do you
at all
think it
in
was
terms
like
of?
a bad event? I think overall it was.
Ow.
No one
But
said
have
anything
you
about
done
that.
any organizing though?
Maybe if they paid him for it, they would do it. He would do
No
it,
one
but
said
that's-
anything about
Charlie Kirk
whether or
did it.
not it was good or bad yet. I don't know why you're like,
Yeah.
pivoting to that.
We're talking about it being disorganized, right? And a good organizer would have had secondary plans for something like this. In fact, they should have went into this assuming he would have refused to talk to them.
You don't actually care
Because
about
she
the
would,
success of the
a
event.
good organizer would have done their research and known his history with her.
Also,
Sorry, her
again,
history with him.
Charlie Kirk has organizers. Why are they able to do this and Z is not?
Because they have like billions of dollars, well, millions of dollars.
Okay, well, Z had access to 52,000 and she still couldn't do
Now
it.
she has 100 and
And all of this again.
Oh.
Wait, one second. All of this again is still able to be managed by them because Charlie Kirk has contracts. They could get contracts with this school. They could be bound legally. They did none of these things. All of this was done on a whim. What this gives the vibe of is a bunch of friends who don't like conservatives because they're a woman or they're queer, but they actually lean pretty fucking conservative. It's just a bunch of friends who got together, wanted to annoy someone that they didn't like, and then it steamrolled from there. That's all that seemed like.
That's not what happened.
There was
right?
there
That's
was
not
no
how- that's not
actual.
how it
Okay,
looked.
so then tell me what the
exactly what
contract is.
happened.
Yeah, that's not
Okay,
what
so
happened.
Antoine,
and that's not how it looked.
is it Antoine or Anthony?
It's Antoine.
Okay, Antoine, tell me about the contract he had.
I don't know what contract they had.
Okay, so there were none. Tell me about the contract she had with the creators.
With the creators,
Yeah.
I don't think there were any.
There were none. Exactly. So that's bad organizing.
No. Wait.
Also, again, for you to make it out to be as if this is just one woman, by her own words, she's not just one woman. There's a bunch of people of color and marginalized people doing all the work behind the scenes, according to her. So apparently it's a bunch of people that were involved. She's just the lead, and she still failed.
These people.
So again, Can you justify that? Can you explain that? Have you done any organizing?
I want to address what Tashika said. These people were there
Oh, so
voluntarily.
you can't. You can't. Okay, cool, cool, cool.
I will address it. I will address it. I want to. Tashika also said those people were there voluntarily.
27.
Johnny, Dan, all those guys.
I'm not talking about those people.
Mr. Jones, they were all there voluntarily. They didn't.
I'm not talking about those people.
They're representing the organization.
They were there because
Not
they
the
genuinely wanted to make
organizers,
change.
not the
right?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
You don't
You're
care?
pivoting. I don't
Okay,
care.
You don't care that these
So
people actually want to
Antoine,
make
I think the
Pivoting.
point. Wait, Antoine. To be fair, I
How
think the
did
point
we-
of Tashika bringing that up about contracts and everything is to mention the fact about how disorganized this was, specifically pertaining to the fact that the entire point of this event and tour was to pretty much follow Charlie Kirk. They weren't even able to do the main thing that they said that they were going to do. That ended up being messed up. And then, like I said, I don't know how engaged you were today, but jumping from live to live, as a lot of us were doing, it took them about 2 hours to even find that little theater to do the 1v1. A lot of them couldn't even find each other.
Half of them walked over there.
So I think that's all we're complaining about, right? I think it is important to mention stuff about contracts and stuff and about how disorganized it was. And I'm not sure exactly why you're combating that point in particular. I don't think that's
Honestly,
I think it's a little weird.
Honestly, I just need to say this really quickly, and I don't know if you guys have already brought it up. You know, the reason why we'll never have the kind of like revolutions that the Black Panthers and everybody did, it's because the people who are actually in the streets, actually doing this work, don't care about fame. They don't care about clout. They don't care about clip farming. They don't care about your like donations that just go to some nebulous cause that nobody knows of, right? They start on actual grassroots and they work fucking hard behind the scenes in these fucking streets. But then you have weirdos who come online and try to justify a shitty job because, well, when I went outside and they put their fight to him, so they were so sad. You sound fucking stupid.
No,
Like, call it like it is. I don't understand what's with you liberal Democrats and being satisfied with bullshit.
With mediocrity.
You
I
call
would like to
something
say.
garbage.
That's what I would like to say as well. Let me just say this really quickly. Is what you, like, again, when you're describing this group, they're not just people who went there willingly. These are people, they paid for, I would hope, that they paid for things for these people. If not, that's even worse, right? But even if that's the case, I know people who they were like paying for all of their expenses for, and they still didn't have to sign a contract. We're dealing with thousands of dollars, and they didn't make anyone sign a single contract. That is bad organizing. By default, bad organizing.
A lot of people didn't even know if they could speak on certain things when they came up here the first time. Like, this is just...
Also, Antoine, I'd like to expand on what I said. I don't know what is up with you liberal Democrats, but you guys are so impressed by mediocrity. Huh?
No, I think I don't think I'm impressed by mediocrity. I think you expect. I think you expect perfection.
You are impressed by mediocrity anyway, Juliet.
Perfection. I'm expecting organizing.
You are.
It
Love
seems like
it.
they're
Into it,
impressed by the bare
Juliet. Continue.
minimum. Wait, hold on. Who was Antoine
Yeah.
responding or was Meadow going?
No, Toshiko was told.
I almost
called her the liberal Democrats. Yeah.
Chica.
Sorry, he said. They said that we just want perfection. No, right? You using an entirely different argument, so it's easier to attack what I said because you cannot engage. Doesn't mean anything to me. I would really appreciate you. I would really appreciate you responding to what I said and how a lot of you liberals are satisfied with mediocrity, and that's why we keep being in this same issue that we're in. That's why we keep having people like Z run these organizations, because you guys are impressed by a couple people being like, maybe we should integrate women. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. You guys are satisfied.
And I just want to say this really quick too. Like, I need you to understand. Like, the Black Panthers had a literal misogynist as one of the leads. Like, he said some fucked up shit. We still look back at the work they did and try to emulate that because they did good work, because they were serious about this shit. These people, dare I say it, are fucking clip farming. And honestly, I won't even put that on the Black people involved, because I know people like Jones and I think that they genuinely want that change. But that woman leading this did a shit job, and I don't know why you're so scared to say it. Sorry.
Yes, I feel like we should expect perfection from someone who champions. This is how she describes herself on her own page. Z, has worked on several people-powered campaigns in the last decade. She says she has a decade of experience flipping, helping flip seats across the country. A decade years of experience flipping seats. After the Bernie Sanders 2026 campaign, she committed to helping
2026.
Democrats.
26 and 2023.
2016, sorry. She committed to helping Democrat candidates with seats across the nation. Since founding Soul Strategies in 2020, her multi-phase team has worked on hundreds of powerful campaigns nationwide. This is someone who's saying that she has worked on hundreds of campaigns nationwide for over a decade. I feel like expecting perfection from someone who claims to have that kind of background is the bare minimum we should be expecting from her.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Can we talk about what the bare
think-
minimum was, Anton?
Tell us what we should expect then.
Yeah, I think
What should we expect?
I think today obviously they fell a little short, right? I agree with
Wait. Before we even continue this, can you tell us what we should expect since our standards are too high for you for some reason?
Yeah, I don't think you should expect every one of these little things.
I'm not asking you what we should not expect.
Wait, what little things?
I am asking you what should
Can
we
you answer my
expect?
question first, please?
Wait, what was your question?
I was asking him what was the standard.
Well, that's the same thing.
Same question.
Yeah.
I think it's absurd to think we shouldn't cut our losses sometime.
I heard you
Okay,
the
so you're
first
not
time.
answering the question.
So you don't know. The first time. What is the standard?
Maybe I should explain it more to you.
No, baby. What is the standard that we should have since our standards are too high?
So
Posters.
so like I said, today they fell a little short.
Yeah. So this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Little posters with fun little clips on them.
Yeah.
That's
He doesn't
Guys, hold on.
Hold on.
Let him finish talking.
I think today was like a kind of fun thing, right? I think there's the things to learn.
No one asked.
And things to organize, right?
No one asked.
Antoine, that's not what we're asking. To clarify, Antoine, nobody's denying that it ended up working out at the end. Sure, right? None of us said that. You specifically. Oh, okay, fair. I would say that it ended up being all right at the end. With that being said, Antoine, that was never the question. You specifically stated that we're expecting perfection. Can you tell us what should our standard be?
Yeah.
That's been the question for like the last 4 times it's been asked. Do you want to actually expand on that?
Yeah, expecting them to outpace Charlie Kirk is absurd. I think it's absurd. Expecting to outpace Charlie Kirk is absurd. I think it's absurd.
To out what?
No, it's not.
Outpace Charlie Kirk in his messaging and his.
That's what they said they would do. Expecting them to say.
Wait a minute, that's a standard they set for themselves.
They would say they would push back on what Charlie.
That
Kirk
also
said.
isn't my standard.
They also didn't do
the
that
bare
either.
minimum, at least for me, is the fact that they're admitting that they're going to be surrounded by a bunch of racists, but there was no EMS and no security. And that's like what I'm confused about. That wouldn't even have touched like a quarter of their funding.
Sorry.
A standard we have for them, that's a standard they have for themselves. So I'm going to go ahead and ask you the question again. What standard should we have?
I literally just told you. Like,
Okay, so you're the type of person who's going to find yourself in some unhappy ass relationships because you seem to be able to lower your standards if a person doesn't meet the high ones that they've even set for themselves. You don't know what you're talking about. It's okay to just admit that.
Yeah, I don't know
You just want to
anything
defend the people that you think that you like. And that's okay, but you don't actually have a reason to be up here or to disagree with us right now. It's okay to admit that.
I'm going to clarify for the third time because
I think it's weird.
Great, I don't care. I'm going to clarify for the third time because we're only talking about Z. She's the organizer. That is her responsibility. It's not
Exactly. We're not talking about your favorite white boys.
Well, let me say, I'm not saying it's Dean's fault. I'm not saying it's Parker's fault. I'm not saying it's anybody else's fault but Z's because she came up here being racist and then had a shitty turnout. So can I please address your point when you said that we should not expect them to fight Charlie Kirk when that was literally their point?
No, I said you shouldn't expect them to pull out
Actually,
numbers like
Antoine, what
Charlie
is your standard for Z?
I never. That wasn't our standard.
We
When
don't
did we
care.
ever? 1 second. When did we ever say that they need to have 50 more people than Charlie Kirk?
Yeah.
Who said that?
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 Go ahead.
Antoine, are you going to answer the question? Who said that?
When you say things like they should have called Charlie Kirk, I think you said that. You should have called.
Nobody said that.
Hold on, wait. Let me clarify. What I
Okay.
said, no,
That's
I
my
clarified what I
question.
said.
1 second. Just let
Well,
him
that's
finish
to
No,
be
he
talking.
fair.
brought up a
Tabby
point
did
that
say
Tabby
it.
gave.
Yeah,
No,
no,
I
that's
just
the
want
point
to
that Tabby
clarify
made.
what I said because he's not trying to misconstrue what I said. I said, as the organizer, if Z is putting on their front page that they're taking the fight to Charlie Kirk, if they're having the head runners of their thing saying that they're debating Charlie Kirk, then that's the one thing that she is supposed to guarantee is happening during this tour, which means as the organizer, she should have reached out to his team to set up a specific time for them to debate Charlie Kirk. Because that is one thing on their own page that they guarantee is going to happen. And if that is what she wants, then if that is what they're promising people who are donating, buying their merch, who are donating and buying their merch, that is the one thing that they are guaranteed to have delivered. And they did not deliver that, which makes it unorganized.
Do you think the people who donated and bought their merch bought their merch are disappointed?
Yes.
Probably
Absolutely.
not.
But that is, if
Yeah.
that's what they
Probably.
wanted, then yeah.
I don't think
But,
they
but
are.
it's
They're not.
also
Wait,
They're not.
but
They're
also,
They're
not.
why
actively planning and supporting
again?
right.
I have to ask, why is this?
It's
Sorry.
I still didn't even
irrelevant
finish my
it's
question.
irrelevant if they're disappointed or not, because that is what they're promised. That's called false advertisement. If you promise that you're going to deliver this thing, you don't deliver it, and you don't deliver that thing, you have falsely advertised. That's what false advertisement is.
You don't
They
think they pushed
promised
back
to
on
take the
Charlie
fight to
Kirk?
Charlie Kirk, to debate Charlie
One second,
Kirk.
question.
They did not fulfill that promise, which makes it disorganized, and that literally is their fault.
You don't
Yeah.
think they pushed back on Charlie Kirk?
This is
They
so
being annoying.
So
Pushback is not
we're not going to go
decisions.
anywhere with that.
Meadow
We're not
wanted
going
to
to go
finish.
anywhere with that. Let's.
Meadow wanted to finish.
It's okay because
Yeah, that's what.
they won't let me fucking talk. Wait, Jesus.
That's what I was trying to do. Let me actually try to host real quick. So obviously you're going to go back and forth with the whole Charlie Kirk thing, Antoine. At that point, whatever. Let's. Meta, what did you want to say?
Well, I tried to ask them the question a billion times. Nobody ever said that they need to fight Charlie Kirk. We're talking about Z specifically, and you still refuse to answer the question on what the standard should be.
On what the standards should be? I don't know.
Okay, so then don't sit here and say that we have crazy standards or outlandish standards or we expect perfection, but you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I didn't kick
Some
him,
of
by the
y'all
way.
are so dumb. Like, it's okay to just say, I really don't really care. I'm just glad I got to meet my
Yeah, I
faves, Dean and
think it's the
Parker.
coon
You can
chip.
say
It's the coon chip, and I think a lot of you guys are sycophants, and you see this and you get annoyed, and you don't actually know why you're annoyed. You just don't. I don't know. I guess you're like an animal that, or like maybe like a baby chicken who imprinted on a human. I don't know.
And like, I get that. Like, you have your
You guys are
parasocial
weird. You guys are
relationship.
parasocial. Lock in. They're
Yeah,
not
you
fucking
have your
with
parasocial relationships with your favorite Caucasians. That's between you and God. But just say that. Like, just say, honestly, I saw this and it hurt my feelings that y'all were talking about my favorite white boys. And,
Which
you
we
know,
weren't, by the way.
you can deal with that
That's what's
in
funny. That's
therapy.
what's funny about this entire thing. I think Dean and Parker was mentioned 3 times during this entire. Let me make sure. Hold on. How long have I been? 2.5 hours. 3 times. And as a matter of fact, only mentioned 1 time. Meadow clarified. She clipped it. This has nothing to do with Dean and Parker. And Tashika mentioned Dean and Parker 1 time when she came up here. Because she quite even Tashika was like, yeah, I would have been perfectly fine if Dean and Parker were to lead this. That would have been A-okay.
There is no FOMO when the creator is racist. I don't know what y'all are talking about.
I want
She
to make
sat
this
up here and called us antagonistic and said we don't have a proper conversation. That bitch is racist. I don't care to be near them or anybody that defends her.
I also just want to clarify to the 400 people that are in here. I really hope that you guys are actively listening. I don't want to run in with the same shit that y'all were saying to us in that other live. This isn't
What other live?
the one that we had on Friday.
Oh, the original one. Okay.
I don't want you guys to try to jump to conclusions that we're talking shit about Dean and Parker or any of the other people other than the person that's in the freaking background. Okay, thank you very much. Continue.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, overall, I think that I'm glad that those creators got to meet each other. I hope they had a nice dinner or something, but, like, I'm sorry, hot take. There were so many ways to go about this. There were other organizations that they probably could have reached out to that maybe would have been better at handling this. Going to college campuses and holding events isn't something new. And frankly, when it comes to, like, something like this, it's, at least here, it's pretty easy. Like, I don't understand.
Could we cycle out some
How
people
you
on the
fucked it
panel
so
for people in
bad.
the comments, please? Because they're...
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, pardon?
Yeah, cycle out some people in the panel for people in the comments.
Yeah, absolutely. If they want to come up, y'all have to actually like jump in the box and stuff. Technically, let me see here. Y'all been here the longest. Who the fuck? Okay, sorry. Chichi, you're first. Since technically you were up here first.
I didn't get a word in edgewise this entire time, but I'll peace out.
Thank you for coming. To be fair, everybody was
Broke
jumping
minors have
in.
been the
Like, dang
most
it.
successful productive mutual aid. No,
Body too,
exactly.
because I've been muted waiting my turn.
Did you want to say anything, Raya? Y'all do realize this is an open panel. Y'all being on mute is not my fault.
It's just very
I've been waiting for Ryan to
frustrating.
talk this whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Oh, right.
Raya's this. I thought you were doing a. I'm just here. But
For
if you
the
want to
third
speak,
time, for the 400 people in here, you guys all weren't in here when I said it first. This is about Z being racist and being racist towards us when we said that she's not organized and then proceeded to put on an event
Not
that
be
was
organized.
unorganized. Nobody else. Well, that's not true. I do have an issue with some other people who condoned her racism. That includes Mermaid and Hannah specifically. But for the rest of them, I don't care. They have fun.
I don't know why we would ever be disappointed.
I'm
in
annoyed that
him.
we have to keep
That's
saying
the
this.
thing.
It's like we're dealing with like
Like
zombie
her,
monkeys.
she's the
Like,
only
can we
person
lock
with her
in?
face in the fucking background, but they don't know how to read.
Like I don't, y'all are starting to piss me off. Like on God,
Rightfully
it's getting absurd that we have to keep saying to these dogs that we're not hating. Are we 5 years old? Are we 5 years old?
we maybe.
They
They maybe.
like the
With
way
that being
they
said,
were
I want to wait.
insinuating-
Isaac, hold on. To be fair, Raya's been saying she's been wanting to go.
Nah, it's fine. Isaac was here first. Go ahead.
No, he wasn't.
He was up here earlier. Yeah, Isaac
Well, then
dropped.
he left.
I dropped because I would let other people up, but then like people in the comments have been like absolutely dense. Like people saying that, oh, we're not owed anything. Then what is the point of advertising that this is going to be about something and then that thing not being able to come to fruition, right? Like I'm already speculating different ways that they could have, if they wanted to just say, hey, we're going to be at these places around the same time, not make it about Charlie Kirk, right? But then have Charlie Kirk supporters essentially goat him into counteracting what they were saying, then that would be a different story, right? Like I still do see him running as like, oh, that's not the best look, my guy, considering how much you like to proclaim that you dunk on college students and that like college educated people are actually not that intelligent, so on. But you wouldn't debate all of these people, right? However, the issue that I'm having is that people are just saying, oh, well, they don't actually owe you anything. Then what was the point of advertising? We're just accepting lies now at this point.
Do we know if like any of the other people, like I know some guy said he wanted to bring flyers. Did that ever happen?
We didn't see it, at least, so we don't know. We have no clue.
Because Mermaid said she was going to talk about women's issues and debated one guy. I don't know. But it was to my understanding that they were going to be able to spread information and combat misinformation. But I only saw like, first of all, I didn't even see any of the creators speak really that much.
The only
time
kind
they
of
did, it was like they spoke for 1 minute and then Parker went back to debate them. So I don't know.
The only thing that I really saw that I can recall and that will always be weird to me, and I think it was a Z clip, when one of the guys was doing what they said they were supposed to be doing, talking to people and like, I guess not necessarily debating them, but like, building community. And then she said something along the lines of like, we don't have time for fans.
That's insane.
That is what Z said, yeah.
Ali sent the clip. Yeah, it's like no
Wait,
time
did
for
she?
fans or whatever.
Where? She quite literally did say that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 15-second clip, and it's from Dan's wife.
Yes,
we don't know what it's
yes.
necessarily
What?
referencing.
So there's a clip where Ali can probably play it, but Dan was talking to somebody, and then like literally, I don't know what they were talking about. Essentially, she's like, "No time for fans" or something fans, and it was like I thought the purpose of this was to like talk to people, because again, there have been many different purposes stated, but wasn't one of them to like talk to people and build community?
I mean, that's what everybody in the comments was saying.
Because this doesn't make any sense though, because when Dean and Parker were debating, all of these people just stopped everything they were doing. Like
They all went to them. Like
all of these quote unquote advocates stopped all of their advocacy to focus on two white boys. And here's my thing. I think that the debates Dean and Parker held were amazing. I think they were actually really good, right? Except for that one part, but that is inconsequential. I think they were actually really good. It's the fact that all of these other people are saying that they're advocates, and y'all are just standing around. Go advocate.
Do we have a
Walk
clip?
away.
Allie, do you have that clip?
At the brigade.
I will try to find it.
Hold on, I think I asked about it again, and then you forwarded.
Oh, is it in my Discord?
No,
literally,
it was.
unironically, and I know we have our issues with Mermaid, but like she was literally one of the only ones that just walked away when she saw that shit was handled on the debate front, and actually started going out and talking to people.
I don't know if I would have. Let me watch my language.
I
I do not associate with that individual.
She walked around just saying everything he's saying is a
Donnie,
lie.
that opportunistic roach.
Oh, roach?
Just screaming at people.
I don't know about the word roach.
Demeasuring contest. Like it was.
Wait,
it was
who are we
ridiculous.
talking about right now?
Who are we talking about?
Sorry, exactly. Anyway, continue.
No,
Wait,
who
what
are
is
we
that?
talking? Who did you
What
just
does that
call a
mean?
roach?
Honey.
Oh. Wait, is he black?
No.
He's white.
Okay. Well. Damn, that's crazy.
I was just making sure because I said I don't like one person and you said
that's crazy.
that's roach, and I was like, wait, what?
We didn't hear Johnny.
Okay,
I didn't hear Johnny.
I was about to say.
Allie, do you have the video of
Yeah,
them?
I'm trying to find it right now. Allie literally.
I just realized y'all didn't even hear what Isaac is asking for before y'all said y'all looking for it. He said advertising.
Yeah. The one where they were advertising, because it's just getting frustrating how people refuse not to listen. Like they're truly hearing what they want to hear.
We out here teaching.
Just advertising in general. Are you talking about those that said that they were going to advertise?
You talking
Like
about
the
video of
played
the
it
Gawk
on the
Gawk?
live. I'm pretty sure you played on the live a few days ago where like they were like how they were advertising. Like it's the one where Dean and Parker.
The ad, the one with the guy and he's like wanking somebody off.
Oh, I'd rather not play that one.
Yeah.
That's gonna get me in trouble.
Well, that's the only one
No, that's
we
not the
saw.
one. That's not the one. He's talking about the one that.
Oh, the one where it's just the talking heads and they're like, we're gonna unfuck America.
Not y'all screen recording from the outside. That's really killing me.
Allie, did you send the clips? I think you did.
I
send
know
them.
I did.
Yeah. Wait, I'm
to.
trying to see. I don't know if it's. First of all, what does he look like? Never mind.
Wait, hold on.
What is it? Which one is it? Where she's recording from the outside or inside the?
It's
the live?
outside. I'm gonna grab it right now.
That's when what's the name is.
I think I have.
Did our list suddenly get disappeared? Because I swore I posted them in
You
our
did.
Discord.
We just talk too much in here.
No, like it's not in. Oh, hold on.
Hold on, I'm listening. Let me listen real quick because I think I found it. Why is he making that fucking face? Sorry.
Oh my god, I can just look up the word fan. Jesus.
Ryan, did you want to go, Really Pop? You've been waiting for a hot ass minute. I thought you got quiet because Isaac went and then I talked. Did you want to go? Say anything?
I think they did exactly they said they were gonna do, and this played out exactly how they said it would play out. They said he's been avoiding him. That's what the original one is that Isaac's talking about. Isaac wants the original one that Dean and Parker made. And in that clip, or in that whatever video that they made, they say that Charlie Kirk's been avoiding them. All he did was do the same exact thing. But I said from the beginning, this was white people's business. I don't even know why black people.
Well, I think it's.
I think it might be in my server.
It isn't.
I can't find it either. But no, I agree with you, Ryan. I think that's like pretty much just like at that point, it's like what else? What else is there to say?
I found a similar one. This is on their Unfuck America tour website. This is just I'm gonna play this so you're gonna hear the sound.
Sadia, and we are 5 days away from kicking off the Unfuck America tour. We're showing up to confront Charlie Kirk and the lies that he's been spreading. His lies are dangerous for our generation, and frankly, I'm just sick of seeing it. That's why a bunch of us creators are going on tour so that we can push back, speak truth, and organize face-to-face. But here's the deal. For us to stay on tour, we have to raise $150,000 by April 22nd. If you believe in what we're doing, it would be awesome if you chip in to help keep this tour alive. And
That's from 5 days ago. They said they're confronting him face to face. I may pay it back and find another one.
Everyone listening for like saying that we weren't owed anything, maybe don't advertise it that way if you don't actually know that you can fulfill the promise that you're advertising. Maybe that.
She actually has a habit of doing that, by the way, given her past lawsuits.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did show that on the live, by the way, y'all. I don't know if you guys were here. I'll tell you guys again. So supposedly she was getting sued. This was back in 2022 where she was trying to run a campaign and pretty much she. It was a scam. She pretty much went around getting people to sign like 1,000 signatures for this campaign for election year, or for that election, and unfortunately, it didn't work out. I can hold on. Let me just read off the post for you guys. It's New York, a New York Post. One second.
I found it. Sorry.
Okay, a New York Post. Let me scroll back in. Hold on. Where is it? Like suddenly, like we just don't talk in this thingy anymore. Like what's going on? Hold on.
What?
The white post that we were talking
So I
about
found
literally
the
like
fan
an hour and a
thing.
half ago.
I have a question. Didn't
One
Hannah
moment.
say that she?
One
Y'all let me
moment.
know when
One
you're
moment.
ready.
One moment. Before I forget. So the name of it's called. You guys can look it up yourself. The name of it's called Political Firm Scams. One second. Political firm scams would be state senator lawsuit says. It's by Griffin Kelly, and it was posted on September 10th, 2022. NewYorkPost.com.
Oh, Tashika, if you want to see something interesting, check what I sent you on Discord.
Do you guys want to see the thing that I was talking about?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead. Let me.
Okay, hold on. Let me. You should be able to hear it.
Where are the cameras? No, we can't do fans right now. We gotta go. I'm sorry, I'm going over time. We gotta go.
So I don't know if you guys heard it.
Yeah, we can't do fans in there. Sorry, gotta go.
Yeah. So that's what I'm
talking
saying,
about.
right? Like,
Going where? Because they weren't doing shit.
I don't know.
There was no plan.
But that's what I'm saying, right? It makes it come across as if this was like less about
was
what
like,
I thought was supposed to be what, like building community and all that
yeah.
stuff.
That was
Community building and more about like, oh, we got fans, guys.
That's my thing. People saying that we're like it's like FOMO. We could have went. Like there was no. We didn't have to pay to go there. I'm so confused.
Clearly, anyone could go.
But I'm not gonna go support a racist.
Why would they go there and be talking to fans? They can do that anytime.
Well, apparently she said it was about building community, but I've never heard that that was the goal for Miss.
Yeah, I didn't hear
Z.
that. I don't know.
So she didn't say that. Other people did. What she
Yeah.
said was this was about voter registration.
Nah, she
But and that's my
quickly
thing
said
too.
that was not true on the live where she said they weren't set up to do that. So
Yeah, she said they didn't have the infrastructure yet. But in the comments, she was saying this is about voter registration. So I don't know if they didn't have the. If she meant, well, it's obviously they were never going to have it. But it made it confusing as if, like, do you not have it yet? As in, like, before this comes? Or do you just, like, not have it at all?
Can I just say this, that when you actually go to the Unfuck America Tour TikTok, counting up to the days, they have creators that are on this tour making videos that are going on this stage where they're saying they're going to confront Charlie Kirk. There's one where Hannah is saying it from 3 days ago. There's one where now Santana Jones is saying that they're going to confront Charlie Kirk 2 days ago. So it's like you're consistently saying you're confronting this man, but y'all are not confronting this man because he said no.
Just to let you guys know, once again, we have a box open here. Oh, there's a new person. What?
it's not open anymore.
Your background's very loud.
Also, Ellie has been pausing this entire time. Ellie. Yeah.
I didn't pause.
Ellie, no, not you.
Not you, Ellie.
At the bottom.
Ellie.
Oh, I can't. Nobody.
There's someone there?
I don't see anybody there at all.
I don't see anybody there either.
They're there.
There's a person there. They've been there for a while.
Underneath safe space.
They're
Yeah, they're right. Hold on, let me just.
Oh my god, it's a ghost.
Screenshot.
Oh, they're not there anymore, but like
They're still there. I can click.
well, no, I see them there, but when you click
All
on
right,
the never mind.
Okay, well, somebody's coming in there. Oh, never mind.
They're
All right,
my
y'all.
place.
Honestly, y'all, I don't know what else y'all want us to say. Honestly, we're just gonna start repeating ourselves unless you're coming up here to respond to anything we said or just to talk about the prompt in disagreement.
Apparently,
I'll
that
give you
lady's gonna
guys
sue us. Apparently, that lady's going to sue us. So that being said, guys, you can find the collective at our own little tour. I'm calling it Fuck America. You guys can donate to the link in Allie's bio. We're all going to be there. We have a little tent. We got some flyers, y'all. Come and see us. We'll be at Texas,
We're raising $50,000.
New Mexico, Florida,
Maybe no 100K. We gotta one up it.
Florida. Who's in Florida?
We going to Florida for some. Never mind. I guess we're not going to Florida, but that's where y'all can find us on our tour. Okay.
That's insane. No, because they're actually gonna stay.
Y'all said you wanted an event?
How many times, like, y'all keep coming in and not knowing the organizer is racist? We're saying that the organizer is racist. She's racist. Period.
Who's suing me? Who's suing me?
Girl, ain't nobody gonna sue you. I've been threatened to be sued 8 billion times on this app.
No,
people
I'm
are
still
really
waiting for a
sue
cease and desist
happy.
order.
Like,
Look.
someone said, "I'll sue, no substance."
You know what? I will say this: if she
No,
does
we're not
sue me,
actually going anywhere.
I'm going to turn that court case into my own tour.
At this point, we
Look
should.
at it. That's the
We
tour.
should.
That's the tour.
That's the tour.
No, we're not.
We're going to absolutely every single trial. Y'all can catch us there.
My
Donate
court
to the
case.
link in Allie's bio. You're gonna get a bus and everything.
By the way, I was sent the actual court case that was referenced in the New York Post. I was sent the court case, and I sent it to you guys on Discord.
Oh,
I'm just over here yawning. Y'all got
Oh,
ice
like
cream
the
in the
actual
freezer.
court case?
Yeah.
Where'd you send it?
yeah, girl. I don't see it yet.
In the foodie? What are we doing?
It's in the general.
Did someone say in the booty?
I said in the foodie. The foodie chat.
It's in the.
I saw
general.
it. I'm sorry.
I see it. You sent it
I'm
like
sorry.
20
I don't
minutes
read
ago.
things from freaking websites that are ugly. I just don't. I can't do my eyes.
Tabby, you
What
will
is
have to
it
make
with
a
this?
9-minute voicemail and read it to us. Honestly,
And court
I don't
cases
see the
also are
link
just
yet,
so boring to read. Like they're literally, I hate reading court
but
cases.
court documents.
Yeah, a document. You know what the hell I mean.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all.
Wait,
going
but before
once?
you go, before you go, guys, I did see Sinners. It was fucking fantastic. My man Michael looks so good. He's so fun. I can't stand him.
Favorite scene, the
crazy.
music scene. Oh my
I
god.
love
that is my
that
favorite
scene.
scene.
And listen,
I was
listen.
like, hey,
Listen, I'm gonna
hey.
say shout out to Ryan Coogler for casting, a dark skinned, thick black woman. It made it really easy for me to shut my eyes and pretend that was me on screen.
Oh
I cannot see.
god.
We will have some good dreams tonight.
Y'all, I want to
When
say
you turn
this
that lady
weekend,
around, oh Lord.
I might ask my father for $50. Like, hey, Bookie.
See, this is why you guys gotta donate to Allie's GoFundMe in the bio for us to go on
GoFundMe.
tour.
Yes, this is our
my
new
Cash
tour.
App?
We're all going to
Cash App,
watch
sorry.
Sinners together.
No, because I really do want to watch it because y'all, you already know I'm trying to pop up
Please do.
on.
If y'all haven't seen it, go watch it. I know that one girl, is married to like a weirdo, but everybody else, sickening.
By the way,
I
I
did
better
not-
take this
Ooh, let me not say that.
opportunity. I better take this opportunity. There's like 300 people in here. Go follow my YouTube, y'all. Talkswithali.
Oh yeah, she has
thank
a
you.
YouTube.
Thank you very much. Go follow
That's
my
where you guys will
YouTube.
see us on the tour.
No, honestly, because I was planning on making a YouTube video about the Sinners when I see it because I want to write that shit down and everything. And actually,
What are y'all broke? Go to the movie theater. What are you talking about?
Me?
It's like $20.
Me?
Oh, you too.
You guys,
You can't afford $10?
technically, I mean, I have the movie app. I can technically watch it at home.
Wait, then go do
But
that.
I want to get the real
Theater experience. It's
Theater.
worth it.
I watched
It's been
it.
2 years
I'm
since
not
I've been in
gonna
the theater.
Because
say
seeing
where I
that man
watched
on the big
it.
screen.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say where I watched
it's been
it.
years. It's been years
Because-
since I've watched it anything in the theaters. Years. Wait, actually, the last movie was Nope. Was that not in 2022 or 2023?
What? Girl,
That's
you need
a
to get
while,
on.
girl.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. No, it was Nope. It was Nope.
That's insane.
It was Nope.
Anyway, I'm not going to say where I watched it because it might give away my location, but multiple theaters do this. But I watched it at one of those theaters where they bring you food where you sit down.
Oh yeah, ours did that too.
Yeah, they're
Nice. I want you to go to the
And,
theater.
also, I
AMC
watched it the
does
day
that.
before it
AMC
came out,
does
too.
that.
I got a preview.
Oh,
I was like,
we're out here, girl.
Holy me, I was one of the
Also,
first people to watch
everybody
it.
at my theater clapped. That's how good it was. They were clapping at the end of the movie. They didn't even clap
Their
at the end of
cheeks or their
Wicked.
hands?
And this was like, and listen, it wasn't a bunch of black people either.
Wait, what?
Like,
Hold on, Meta. What did you just say?
wait.
For Michael B, I said their cheeks or their hands.
You could guess which one with me.
Freaky girl. Anyways,
Listen, I was a freaky gal in that theater.
okay, this is where we're going to end it. Thank y'all for coming very much.